This episode is brought to you by, if you appreciate craftsmanship and doing things the right way, well, that's what Bardstown Bourbon is all about. They're not just making bourbon, they're pushing the standard forward. Smooth, bold, layered with flavor. Whether you're winding down after a long week or celebrating a big win, it just fits. Bardstown Bourbon. Modern flavor, timeless craftsmanship. Green River Whiskey is authentic Kentucky whiskey with no gimmicks and no shortcuts. It's just done right. Smooth, balanced, and refined over generations. Whether you're sitting around with friends or relaxing after a long day, raise a glass to a good conversation and even better company. Green River Whiskey.
What the fuck?
What? Right? Today's been a day, buddy. Today has been a day. You ready to start this? You ready to start this?
Yeah, just let me send this quick email. Okay, we're good. I had to send a quick email.
Bro, you got to stop typing in the middle of the show. I can hear it.
Okay, I gotta change the key. Well, when I'm looking stuff up, you know what I mean?
I know, but you're gonna have to move the keyboard maybe to your left or right or something. I don't know, but it's like it must be really close to the mic.
It actually is.
Yeah.
So what I'll do, hold on.
Or move the mic.
At night, I think of you. Hold on. Now listen.
Yeah.
Can you hear?
No.
Okay, I moved the computer over.
There you
so
go.
when I go to type, I'm just gonna pick it up and move it over. But I'm gonna have it in front.
That or just turn your chair and type, and I know that you not to go to you too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, ready?
Uno, dos.
3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to the Travel Dads podcast, brought to you by, right there, Bardstown Bourbon and Green River Whiskey. I am your host, Jason Corley, alongside one of my best friends,
Jacob Moreno. Bienvenidos a otro episodio of Travel Dads podcast. Well, I guess we're just gonna dive right into it.
Oh man, what
it's
a
been
day, dude!
It's been an eventful day for you guys, huh?
It's been an eventful day, and I'm not going to touch on the most recent developments, but we can touch on some other stuff. But I'm going to leave the privacy of the current situation out of respect for our families on our team. But yeah, our shit's falling apart, right in front of our face. So. It's imploding. So when you try to do the right thing and you try to give families a heads up, it just all goes to shit. It literally all goes to shit. And yeah, I don't have any idea what's going to happen. I really have no idea what's going to happen for the remainder of this year. Let's put it that way. I know exactly what's going to happen going forward. So yeah, man, it's just yeah.
Are you guys still leaving tomorrow?
Oh, we're going. Whether we're going to play baseball or whether we're going to have a vacation, we're leaving. Like,
okay,
you know what I mean? Like, we're going.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're going to the World Series because Brooks is already committed, and Hudson and some other kids on the team, they've already got spots as backup plans too. So yeah. We're going regardless. I just don't know what the rest of I have no idea what's up for Cooperstown. I have no idea what's up for the PGI. I have no idea. It's all went to shit. We found out today, folks, that our coach is leaving at the end of the year. It's a free for all. So, but I will say that, and this is real life. This is real travel ball life, like right here, right now. Like, we're going through it. And I guarantee you we're not the only family that's going through it across this country. So we're literally going through it in real time with you guys. So
you entered the transfer portal.
What's that?
You entered the transfer portal.
I did not enter the transfer portal. I didn't have to.
Okay.
I didn't have to. You know what I mean?
I thought you were going to go be with MJ trying to find the sorority girls.
Yeah, nope, not interested in that. The only thing I'm interested in, Jacob, is making sure. Okay, what have we heard time and time and time again on this podcast, whether it be from a coach, whether it be from a recruiting advice, whether it be from an ex-player? What is the constant theme that we keep hearing?
To me, I mean, have a plan B.
Plan B, and that this is a business.
No, yeah, okay, yeah. This is a business.
This is a business. And we've heard at the end of the day, you always have to look out for your kids. No matter what, you have to look out for your kids. Now, you've heard me say plan B. I've been preaching plan B to our circle of people for 3 years. Like, never, ever, ever go into the end of the season or the beginning of another season without having options and a plan B, because you have no idea. A coach could leave for college. A coach could get married. A coach could go through a divorce. You have there's 1,000 things that can happen that can fluctuate the team's identity going into the following year. Maybe you're just not, but you have to have a plan of attack. And in my mind, in my personal opinion, if you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice if you just fly thinking that everybody's always going to keep their word, everybody's always going to do the right thing, and nobody's ever going to look out for themselves. They're always going to look out for you instead. That's just foolish. So, I have been contemplating what we're going to do going into the big field. You know what I mean? For months, you know what I mean? Since the beginning of the year, I've been thinking ahead to the following year of what does this look like going into the big field, Jacob? I mean, you know this. We've had these private conversations, and I had some options for HUD, you know, and I'm thinking about HUD because Brooks is still 9, and Brooks is still, this is just, you know, Brooks doesn't give two shits. Like, he doesn't care.
So Brooks is more like sandlot baseball. Right now,
Brooks just wants to play with his friends, and he just wants to ball out, hit dingers, and throw kids out. That's just what he wants to do. And I'll give him that until he comes to me someday and says, "Dad, I'm ready," which is where HUD is at. HUD is at that point where he's like, "Dad, I'm ready. Like, let's focus. Okay, then let's go. Let's do this."
Yeah.
So, so I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of great organizations and coaches and opportunities. And this morning, at 7:00, I informed the team and I informed the coach that we would not be back. We have, we've decided to go the route of Canes National next year, Canes Midwest National with Coach Isaac Sampin, and super excited for HUD's future. It's a great organization. I haven't had literally not one single negative remark towards this decision. I've had mixed reviews on other things we were contemplating. You know what I mean? But not one, I'm telling you, not one person has been like, "Ooh, might want to rethink that." Or, "Ooh, I don't think that's as good as what you got." Or everybody's been like, "Great opportunity for your son, great opportunity for his future. I think you're making the right decision." It's not the flashiest thing right now.
It's okay. You don't want the shiny car right now.
But at 16 and 17, it sure does look good.
That's where you want the shiny car.
That's where we want. So I have talked to some people that I really, really care about their opinion on this. You know what I mean? And I have. You know.
Yeah.
And
me and you had a over an hour conversation a couple days ago.
Yeah.
You just needed to vent. We talked, and then, I mean, I went through the Rolodex of questions that I think you needed to hear. And I mean, every answer you gave me was this way.
Yeah. There's some other fun options out there. And you know that. Like, there's out there that sounded really fun. You know what I mean? And so forth. But I believe in Isaac's direction. I believe in his plan of attack going forward for the boys. And, you add in the fact that he gets to come along with Gino Nucelli, Willie Vanacek, and Joe Stesiak and go start a new journey, a new chapter in their lives. And it just couldn't be a better fit. So we informed the team, we informed the coach today. And then when we informed the coach, that's when coach decided to let us know that, well, he was already planning on not coming back. So I guess we made the right decision, Jacob. So the way it's working right now, Coach Isaac is piecing this thing together. We're literally just a couple of stallions in the barn away from having something magical to go into the high school years. So,
Speaking of that, what are you guys looking for?
we're looking for,
you might as well go ahead and say it here because we have a lot of parents across the country.
Well, yeah. All right. Good point. That's a very good point. So I would say if you're out there and you're looking to make a move this year, going into the 13U season on the big field, our team as constructed right now is the foundation is incredibly well built. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
The foundation is rock solid, and we're just looking for absolute stud arms. And these stud arms can also be raw. If there's development that needs to be had, that's the beautiful part about this Canes national program. All the resources of this are incredible. Like the resources that the Canes national program, I had no idea until I started diving into it and doing my homework on it. You know what I mean? And you guys, if anybody's interested, you guys can reach out to us. You guys can reach out to Coach Isaac. I will put his Instagram handle I'll put it on
this portion here.
On this portion here and on the description, that stuff will all be there. So if you guys are interested, you guys can reach out to him. Obviously, if you're interested, you need to make sure you send him video and information because this is not 10U baseball anymore. We're going into the big field, and he's looking for athletes and he's looking for stallions. He's looking for stallions to, to take this thing to the next level. This is not. This ain't your daddy's ball no more, boys.
So no daddy's ball. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys.
I know you are. It's, man, he deserves a fresh start, an opportunity, to further develop under. Sometimes the voice just gets
stagnant.
Like,
it just gets stagnant. Yeah.
And I think what I'm so excited about, Jacob, is the fact that I know that there's more potential in these boys. It just
and that's no shot to his coach now.
No, not at all. It's just I'm saying a different voice or a different technique. What else is locked up in there that hasn't even come out yet? That's what I'm excited about. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Isaac is going to put these boys on college campuses doing scrimmages before they turn 16. You get the automatic bids to WWBA, you get the automatic bids to Cary, North Carolina for USA. Just the benefits of playing for the Canes organization are exactly what the benefits are for playing for the Canes organization. So this is not the local level. This is their national program. And I'm pumped. I am absolutely pumped.
You're not a fundraising team?
I don't know, maybe.
Hey, I had to.
Hey, I ain't opposed to it.
I had to.
So, no, we are not a fundraising team. And that's the other cool thing is that I found out that once you hit the 13U mark in that program on the national level, those are all 100% paid coaches. So this is their lives. Is their job is to develop us, you know what I mean? And to take these boys to the next level and to get eyeballs on them and to get them seen and to get them playing at a level. We don't give two shits about plastic trophies anymore or rings or any of that stuff. All we care about is what are they going to look like when they get to 15 and 16U? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what college campuses are they going to be playing on instead of, dumb little tournaments here and there? Get them. He's going to have them on campuses, scrimmaging, all that stuff. And I'm just blown away at the leadership. I'm blown away at the organization. I'm blown away at all of it. So I guess it doesn't hurt to say, if you're listening and you want to come play with some studs, and I don't mean that lightly. If you want to come play with some studs, also they have an incredible media system. So to be seen, give Coach Isaac a shout, give Jacob a shout, give myself a shout, and we can direct you over to Coach. But so I have no idea what's going to go on with the World Series, dude, and I have no idea what's going to go on with PG, or the PGI. So I gave PG a heads up, listen, man, this thing, you may have boys scattered all over this country playing for different teams by the time we get to Dallas, and don't penalize them. You know what I mean? For other bullshit, because that's what it is. It's just bullshit, and it's really unfortunate.
Okay. Now let me ask you this:
Yeah.
because this has been a topic between you and I.
Yeah.
Now that this happened, and let's say you guys scatter and you guys
Yeah.
are all on different rosters.
Yeah.
Are you guys considered pickup players?
Mm-hmm. 100%. Yeah. That's it. You can add that to another jersey in the closet. Yeah. It's the first time. So, I mean, I know you're trying. I mean, I know you thought that we would laugh about that and it would be funny, but it's true.
No,
It's
no,
true.
no, I know. No, it was actually a serious question.
Yeah, it's 100%. No, you're 100% right. We would be 1,000% pickup players.
Okay.
Now, I can assume that whatever teams we scatter to, they're not going to want to let go of these kids once they see,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? These boys, compete.
What they bring to what value they bring to their
so
team.
that could be interesting. But that's another thing too, folks. I will say this. So as of right now, from what I know, and if I have to do housekeeping tomorrow, no, we're off tomorrow. If I have to do
off till
housekeeping
next Thursday.
Tuesday, bro. Tuesday.
You for Tuesday, not me.
Yeah, that's true. So if I have to do housekeeping next Tuesday and correct this, but as of right now, we got a half a team of national players that are looking for homes for the World Series. So, and possibly PGI. So I don't know yet for PGI, but I think it's pretty likely. And I can tell you this too. I ain't putting up with this shit. So like if this is going to be a drama-filled situation and we're just going to waste, time, then we'll go and compete with somebody that wants to take it serious. That's just me speaking. I ain't speaking for any other dad. So, and we'll be there. So
what goes on with Cooperstown?
Cooperstown is supposedly still beyond. I think we can pick up enough kids to make that, work, but nobody's getting their money back. So, yeah. So, we're down to 8 kids right now for the World Series, which is why we're not going to be able to go. You can't send 8 kids to the World Series, dude. So,
no,
especially
you can't even go with 9 or 10.
You can't even go with 10. Yeah. So, so to go with 8, So, and yes, I listen, I'm aware you're listening. I get that loud and clear, but I think it's bullshit that you just quit in the middle of at the end of the season, the 3 biggest events of the year. So there's how I feel, Jacob.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're your feelings.
Hey, I just, as I'm sitting here talking about this, I do want to apologize. I forgot Derek Perkins. Derek Perkins is also coming to the Canes National Program with us. Incredible kid, incredible family. And I don't want to leave him out because he is part of this and we have played with him before. So, and I know that I can speak for him because they are 1,000% in. But as far as the other ones, like I know the names, but I haven't confirmed or denied that I could ever speak of their names. So I'm not going to, but everybody else, I know that I can. So, but, yeah, man, tonight, it should be good. I just talked to him a little bit ago. He was racing home. Former MLB catcher Josh Crouch is coming on to join us. He just recently retired, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
So I'm interested to hear, what brought him to that decision. I'm interested to hear what his journey was like that got him to the show. And then I'm interested to hear about what he's doing next because now he's in travel ball. So he's coaching travel ball. So he went all the way through the spectrum. So it's going to be interesting. He's going to join us probably any minute here, but, how was your day, bud?
Well, I wish I could say it was as eventful as yours. But I mean, my phone was ringing too.
Yeah, good.
Just hearing everything going on.
Yeah, I'll bet it was.
But hey man, shit happens.
Yeah.
That's shit happens. Like I get it. I understand. And like I've told you before, sometimes same voice just gets stagnant.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I've been telling you that, and sometimes a change is needed. And but from there, I mean, you and I've had these conversations months, years that we've talked. But besides, hearing the phone calls, everything's been good.
Yeah,
everything's been good. I went to work and came home.
I know that you were worried. I know that you weren't really worried, but you were concerned because
my big concern was I didn't want all you guys to get screwed the way it seems to be going right now. And I told you that. Like I told you to hold off and wait to say something, and then because I mean
that's a really good point too to bring up. Like people might be out there wondering, like, oh my God, like, are we supposed to make a decision right now? And we're not even done with our season. No, that's not what I'm saying. I am just I'm just explaining from our point of view. When I say I'm all in, I'm all in. Okay.
Yeah.
And that means that we've been fortunate enough to land in a situation where the organization wants to build around us. So in order to do that, they have to be able to let other kids out there know, other families out there know who the core is. You know what I mean? So anyways, here's Josh. Let's tag him in. You ready?
1, 2, 3.
Yep. What up, my man?
What's up, man?
Hey, can y'all see me?
Yeah. Can you? First of all, can you see Jacob?
Yeah, he's just like grainy. Like
tomorrow, you'll be able to see who I really am.
It's the Mexican in him. It's not the camera. It's the Mexican in him. Yeah. What's going on, dude?
Hey, man, I just got done doing lessons, and I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
Can you see
me? Is your phone on Do Not Disturb?
It's on silent.
Put it on Do Not Disturb, because if you get a call, it'll kill you.
Okay. Allow and revisit.
No, is he using his phone?
Oh yeah.
No, I'm on my Mac.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
Never mind.
We thought you were on your phone.
I thought you were on your phone. My bad.
Yeah. No. So yeah, I just got done giving some lessons, and whew, like it's been absolutely bonkers since I've been home. So it's been about, let's see, what is it now? It's been about a little less than 2 weeks. So
I literally just said when we were introducing you before you came on, I said, pretty sure it's been like 2 weeks. Yep. 2 weeks since the decision was made. Listen, I don't want to get into that yet. I want to start with just some basic things because I want to lead up to, because the decision that you made led into this now opportunity that you're involved with, which I really want to focus on. So I want to know, when did your baseball life start, bro?
All right. So I'm from a small town, and let's go all the way back here. I'm from a small town in Central Florida, Sebring, Florida.
Dude, stop. Yeah. What is it? What is it with Florida, Jacob?
Our last 3 guests have been from Florida.
Every guest we've had on here that's either Division I or in the pros has been from Florida.
Yep.
So what does that tell you?
I got to move to Florida or not come home.
You want to be good at baseball, move to Florida.
Central Florida. All right. That's where it started.
Yep. So just small country town in Central Florida. Grew up, came through the local rec leagues, things of that nature, started to get to like the 10, 11, 12 age group. And then we had a group of guys that would play together in the rec league and then also play together in travel ball. We'd call ourselves Team Sebring. We didn't do little league or anything of that nature. We were in Dixie Youth at the time. So Dixie Youth is what we would do during the rec season, and then we would go and we'd play all the way through the World Series, and then we'd also play summer ball together. So I was playing with the same core group of guys from really the age of 5 until the age of leaving high school, to be honest with you, because we all went to the same high school for the most part as well.
So you're kids from your town.
From our town, and we just happened to, we trained together. We were just a bunch of, not a lot of some dads played like low level college ball, but not like no one in the pros, like just grinding country dads out there, like really investing in their kids. Right. And over the years, we had some pro guys that came through the town that played back in the 70s and 80s, and they would help us out a little bit. But I think just the camaraderie of playing together from a young age allowed us. I mean, we went to the Dixie Youth World Series, and we won the World Series twice, came in second and came in third. So we had a very well-known group of people by that time. Our reputation built through the rec league and through travel ball. And it's funny too, because I ran into some people in pro ball that were like, dude, I saw you're from Sebring, Florida. Like, did y'all play for that team Sebring? And I was like, yes, that was us. And they're like, dude, y'all beat the crap out of us. And so it was just crazy 10, 20 or 15 years later, having conversations with guys that we played against. So, and then played in the youth league, and then we all kind of split up and did our own travel ball stuff. I played for, when I got to high school, I played for Chain National,
Okay.
which now is 5-Star National.
Okay.
And then after that, my junior year, I played for the Scorpions in Orlando.
Right. Okay.
So played for them, and then committed to FIU as a junior in high school as an infielder.
Okay.
And then, I told you the other part of my story. I ended up signing as an infielder my senior year, and then went to a pre-draft workout and as an infielder to the Dodgers. And the guys there were like, "Hey man, we got some catcher's gear for you." And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "That's crazy, really?" So because I'd never thought about playing catcher before, because my good buddy Jimmy, Jimmy Peck was his name. He played Division II baseball, amazing defender. I never thought in my life I'm never going to play over him, so I'm just going to play another position.
Yeah.
And so, but they were like, "No, we want you to try and catch." So I ended up going back there, had the fastest pop time at the event, and then really the rest was history. I mean, ended up decommitting from FIU, committing to a junior college, State College of Florida, Manatee, in Bradenton, Florida, and
I know
then
where that's at.
caught for 2 years there, and then 2020 transferred to University of Central Florida, and then COVID happened,
Yeah.
and I was hitting 200 at the time, so obviously not going to get drafted in those 5 rounds that they had. So then I had to go back to school in 2021, ended up having a great year, and then, got drafted by the Tigers. So
Okay, so let's back up a little bit, because you just flew through that shit. Okay.
yeah.
Let's back up and let's talk about the recruit. Like, what was it like going through the recruiting process in high school? And were your friends being recruited? Was it just you? How was that whole dynamic? Like, were you the big man on campus, so to speak, at school? And did that change perception of you? Did you battle with that socially? What?
So easiest way to explain that is, growing up, because of the such small area that we're from, we never had people that did individual training. Like, we didn't have a strength coach to go to. We didn't have a hitting coach. We didn't have a pitching coach. It was all the dads collectively doing it.
Yep.
So really it was the investment of the dads, because we had a guy that owned a feed store, Craig Kennedy, and he took care of the fields. They would bring their tractors out there. They would aerate and seed the field. So it was like a whole community thing.
Community effort.
And when the community knew that the Sebring boys were playing, like, everyone's coming out. Like, we had thousands of people at the state tournament watching, and there's never been anything like it from our group. So it was just like the dads that knew a little bit about baseball, and they just like gave us everything they had about that little bit, and then we just kind of like grinded on the basics and the basics and the basics and the basics. And then over time, some guys started to get sprinkled into different travel ball teams, and then now it's like, back then obviously the recruiting was a lot different, so there's some guys getting some interest here and there. And so my senior year of high school, we ended up having 1, 2, 3, I think we had 7 kids end up going to college out of our team in our senior class.
Not
so
bad.
It wasn't bad.
And
no, and most of those kids were also back on that youth team. So it's like, it's the same kids growing up, because it's a county. Highlands County is the county. Lake Placid, Sebring, Avon Park. So there was some of the kids from that travel team that would go to the other cities right next to us as well, but the bulk of us stayed in Sebring. And so we just had like a little powerhouse there going in Central Florida.
How big was the school?
Our school, we were 5A.
So is that the opposite of us, Jacob? Like, so our biggest schools are 1A.
Division 1.
Oh yeah, no. So we have, our biggest schools in Florida are 9A.
Okay, so it's the opposite.
So yeah. So because the schools in Orlando would be like 8A, 9A. I don't know if it's changed from when I was in high school. But when we were in high school, it was classified 5A, 6A, which is like, there's
middle of the road,
like 1,500, 2,000, like nothing crazy between everybody.
Do you remember how many was in your graduating class?
Couple hundred.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple hundred. It wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah, nothing like, it's always interesting to Jacob and I to compare these, because his son goes to a private Catholic school. My son goes to a public school in the middle of Amish country. But down the road, we've got a school that's, got, I don't know, 500 kids in their senior class. So it's all over the place. It's always interesting to Jacob and I to hear the guys that are getting the looks and the guys that are getting the looks in high school. Like, some of them are academy kids. Some of them are little schools. Like, now it seems, Jacob, like it's all over. There's no target.
And I will say this too, back when I was in high school, I graduated in 2017. So I was 14, 15, 16, 17 in high school. That's like what we talked about. That's right when the perfect game circuit was starting to get going, like 2012, 13, 14. Then the showcase stuff really started to ramp up.
Yeah.
So that's when we started getting involved in that stuff. And, that started the whole, that side of things. Man. Yep. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So tell us then a little bit about, obviously you decommitted from FIU. What was that conversation like with your parents? Like, was that,
It was weird, man. It was weird because I had to make the phone call to the recruiting coordinator, and he legit was mad, like really mad, because we kind of threw it on him at the last second. And then the way that their recruiting class is that they ended up finding out that I was.
Listen, we're going through that shit right now with travel ball. Pissed off coaches, pissed off parents because people are making business decisions. So I get it. Yeah.
Right. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know it was going to work out. I thought I was like, there was people that thought I was crazy. Like, this dude's decommitting to go to JUCO to learn how to catch. He's never caught in his life. And it's just like, so I'm there and I decommit from FIU, and he gets all over me on the phone call, and I'm like, dude, what am I going to do? Like, I don't know. There's no catching coaches here because we're 2 hours away from Orlando. Yeah. So that's where the good catching coaches are at. And we're like an hour and 30 minutes away from Tampa. So it's either Orlando or Tampa for the good training. Yep. So I was like, it was kind of a gut decision. And I was like, I mean, only God knows what's going to happen to me here, because we have no guidance. We just know that this Dodger scout said, hey, you should probably catch. You run a 7.3 60. Yeah. And you have a good arm and you have a little bit of power. Like, that is kind of, and I have a long torso and super short legs. So it's like, that literally is describing a catcher.
With that in your infield instincts.
Yes. And I think that was because I wasn't great in the infield, but I had developed some sort of softer hands and just kind of an approach for some level of footwork. I was not good at by any stretch at the infield, just had a decent arm. And I think that the catching position was just what he thought. And the funny thing is I think I mentioned this to you when we talked. He is currently the AAA manager for the Dodgers.
Yes.
Scott Hennessy was his name. So if Scott Hennessy ever hears this, like, he's the reason that I made it to Pro Bowl.
We'll tag his ass. We'll tag him.
Yeah. Scott Hennessy, him and I've never talked to him after that day. He was like, hey man, super happy to have you guys, come try this out. You should try catching. And I was like, okay. And then we just never talked to him again and just went all in on what Scott Hennessy said. And then, obviously down the road, I ran into the right catching coach and it ended up working out. But it's like, it was just a crazy story. My parents, I don't know if my parents thought it was the right decision. I think it was like a family decision where we're like, we're going to gamble on it here. Yeah. But the biggest piece, and shout out to Coach Tim Hill at State College of Florida, if he hears about this, their commitment to me to catch, like, when I've never caught before,
they were all in.
And now I'm catching Division I guys that are kickbacks from NC State, North Carolina, like Florida, Florida State. And I've never caught anything above 92 before. And nevertheless, like nasty sliders and splitters and things of that nature. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure if you look my stats up, I had like 23 pass balls my freshman year at Manatee. Yeah. And I was like, and they kept riding with me. And it was just like, did decent with the bat, didn't do anything crazy, but they just kept throwing me out there. And the pitching coach, Donnie Robinson, who played for like 15 years in the big leagues, he would be yelling at me. to drop and block the ball, and I'd be trying to backhand it like an infielder and throw guys out at second base, and I had no idea what it was to lead a pitching staff. So they just kept trusting in me. I think Coach Hill might have seen the vision a little bit, that, hey man, if this guy had some work, he'd be pretty good, because I was very coachable. Like, I'm looking everywhere to try and sponge some information out of somebody to try and get better at my craft.
Yeah.
So then the amount that the pitching coach yelled at me motivated me to find a guy over the summer to like, dude, I cannot do this again. I'm getting like cussed out from the dugout. There's 20 scouts in the stands watching our pitchers, and I'm running back to the backstop 3 or 4 times a game. Like, this isn't going to be sustainable here. So I went to the Florida Collegiate Summer League, and then I was introduced to a catching coach by the name of Eddie Rodriguez. And he caught in the big leagues, was a big league, catching coach for the Marlins. And then now he is like a catching consult for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Okay.
So I had gone to
a lot of Dodgers ties.
Yep. So, I went to his place. He broke me down from the ground up, really showed me what it was like to just break down everything with receiving, everything with blocking, like be an athlete behind the dish. And then I applied everything that I learned through a little bit of summer ball playing integration, but a lot of training that off season, like just tons of late nights in the cage on a hack attack by myself, trying to figure this out. And YouTube videos, like, man, just really trying, because at that time, social media really wasn't going with a lot of the instructors and things of that nature. So I'm just doing anything I can to try and get an advantage, because kids at this point have already been catching for 10 years. I haven't caught a single ball behind the plate till I get to college.
Yeah.
So I'm just relying on like sheer, God-gifted ability and athleticism at this point, because it's like, I don't have any of this technique down.
Yeah.
So,
but this screams, Jacob, to the fact that like I guess you could say the theme that we hear a lot is that the recruiting process, as these kids start to go through the recruiting process, is all complete bullshit, because these people are recruiting the kid for the potential and what they're projecting as. Like, they didn't recruit him as an infielder. They recruited him as what they could see as a future catcher, which is proof that your shortstop could be your center fielder. Your right fielder could be your third baseman. By the time the professional hands get their hands on a kid and mold them, there's no telling what they can turn into.
Nope. And I think that's well said, because with the kids that I train and just catching camps that I've given over the past couple years, continue to just be an athlete and play as many positions as you can. To be 12 years old and say, I'm going to be a shortstop, like, yes, that's a great vision to have. Like, everyone wants to be Derek Jeter, but the reality is not many people are going to get a chance to do that. So you need to be adaptable, and you need to be an athlete.
A Mookie.
Yes. And you need to you're going to do what the game calls for, because if the game calls for you to play right field, and that's what gets you in the lineup, then you need to go learn right field.
Yep.
So that was kind of, what ran into with me. I'm not probably going to play pro ball as a third baseman, just because I don't grade out well as a third baseman at all. But, I grade out a little bit better as a catcher. So that's my path.
Curious here. You just said those words, grade out.
Yeah.
Like, what is that process like? Like, is that wild to have somebody like, what does that look like? What does being graded out as a pro, what does that look like, man? Nobody's ever talked about this.
I mean, goodness gracious. So, I mean, that is such a multifaceted question. We could go down so many tangents. So more or less, they're looking.
Is it humiliating?
I mean, no, for me, it was like, for some people it might be, but I think it's all the perception of it. For me, it just tells me like, okay, if they're grading me at this, then I know exactly what I need to work on. Like, by you grading me out, you're telling me what I need to go work on. I don't need to view it as a knock. I need to view it as just the fact. Like, people are better at me overall at the pro level at this aspect of the game. So this is what I need to focus my time on. And I say it best to kids like this. As you continue to get older, you're going to figure out what your strengths are.
Yeah.
So you need to do whatever you got to do to figure out your strengths, and then keep your strengths, because that's the player that you're going to be, and then make your weaknesses as good as possible, knowing that they'll never be as high as your strengths, but you need to make them at least average. Like for me, I ran a 7.360. I'm never going to run a 6.4 ever.
Right.
But I just need to do what I can. Maybe I don't run a good 60-yard dash time, but I can be super athletic and mobile behind the dish, blocking balls left and right, throwing out guys, running down the baseline to back up bags. Like
Yeah.
I can use it in a different way. It's not just because perfect game or a showcase circuit says that I need to run X 60-yard dash. That does not mean that that's set in stone, because I know plenty of people that have not run those times that have played in professional baseball. There's different ways to use those talents. So it's all within context.
Yeah. So you literally could, you got to have your tools, but it's very, very rare to have all 5 perfected is what you're saying.
Oh, it's very rare. That's why you see guys on TV. They're like, only a few guys every draft in July have the true 5-tool capability. You hear them talk about like, this is a true 5-tool player. And when you go through the course of the 11 rounds of the 20 rounds of the draft, like there's only a couple of those guys that they say have true 5-tool potential, and potential doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's just potential.
Yeah.
So because most guys get derailed along the way, or they just never reach their ceiling. And that's just the nature of the beast. Like, whether it's different swing ideologies or maybe injuries or things of that nature, just life happens and maybe you don't reach what your potential is.
Yeah.
So
sorry, Jacob. I know I'm running this one. Sorry,
no, you're good.
We have these little cues, Josh. We have these little cues when he goes to his beard. He wants to say something, and I've ignored 4 of them. So go ahead.
No, man, you were talking. When did you bringing it back? When did you realize that baseball was going to be more than just a hobby, or just play with the boys?
Man, I'll tell you this right now. Like, so my dad played
What
baseball.
was that moment?
The moment. Okay. So my dad played baseball in the military.
Okay.
And he played for the Army, and it was just, he didn't play college or anything like that, but he always, I think, loved the game, because obviously he played in the military, and then he also played slow pitch and some competitive softball when he got done. So
those are the guys that can't walk away from it, so they hang on as long as they can.
Yes, but my dad also, kudos to my dad, because my dad was never the guy that was forceful of baseball upon me.
Sure.
Like my dad and mom met playing tennis. So it's like baseball was what I did, and it's what I was getting good at, but it's just something that I think over time that I fell in love with, because just how hard it is. Like the constant failure of the game brings you back, man. It's obsessive. It's like a drug almost. It's like, man, some people view it, especially growing up, I think when they have some struggles, like, man, like I don't want to do this. I mean, forget this. Like, this sucks. This is a game of failure. For me, that just motivated me to get even better.
The first time a 13-year-old gets to the big field and faces 85, and is super discouraging, and they either it's that decision. Okay, this sucks and this isn't fun anymore, or okay, no, we got to figure this shit out.
Oh yeah. And to answer your question, Jacob, I think when I was growing up, before I was on all those big time all-star teams that I was telling you about, there was a definite moment that I remember. There was an all-star team. I can't remember. It might've been like 8, 9U. Like they created there. Doesn't matter what happened, but I wasn't on that all-star team. Whether I should have been on that all-star team or wasn't on that all-star team, it is what it is. But I didn't make it, and that
a chip? Is that a chip?
Yeah. So I didn't make that all-star team, and it really rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, I should be on that team right there, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to make that never happen again.
Yeah.
So I just proceeded to put my head down, and I completely went probably to the far side of obsessive, which is I wouldn't recommend for a lot of people as well. Like just no life, cage, like every single day. And then I look up and, 15 years later, I'm still doing the same thing. So it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend that. But to answer your question, the failure of the game one, and then not making a team that I felt like I should make as a young kid really pushed me. Like, man, I really want to, obviously I saw people playing on TV, and you look up to guys like Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, but like, I was just a kid that was obsessed with learning the game, figuring out different aspects of the game. How can I get better? Like I would be the kid in technology class in middle school and high school. I'd be sitting there and the teacher has views of all the computers in the technology class on her screen, and I'm there YouTube and baseball stuff, looking up, perfect game, looking at Brendan Rodgers taking ground balls, perfect game, All-American game. Like, and Josh, get off YouTube.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
yelling at me across the class. So that's how I grew up. But
Okay. All right. Listen, I want to ask this before we go back to UCF and your time there. Why? Just because this is how my ADD works, dude. And as I think of things, I have to spit them out or I'm going to forget them because I don't take notes and I don't write shit down. Why did catchers suck in Major League Baseball? You guys are professionals. Why do you know every pitch that's coming? Please explain this to me like I'm 6. Why?
Well,
You know he's going to throw.
I mean, yes and no. Just because I know what he's gonna throw doesn't mean I can hit it. Like, so that's the story of my life. I can be sitting on a fastball, and that doesn't mean I'm gonna hit it. So it's like,
Is it the craft that you guys just get zero time in the cage because you're so focused on the
Bullpens
staff?
and
Is that what it
Yes.
is?
It's because not only is it a defensive position, it's a relationship position with the pitching staff. But I mean, there's so many facets that we could talk about. Like catchers have tighter hips, so maybe their swing mechanics are not as efficient.
Sounds like excuses, goddammit.
Excuses, whatever you want to call it.
No, my son goes through that playing catcher.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like maybe there's some movement problems. Maybe there's obviously the low-hanging fruit is we're always in the bullpen. We're always doing catching drills. We're always doing things of that nature because it's one of the 4 positions on the field that is a true defensive position. So it's like, I mean, really 3, maybe 4 if you include second base-ish, but for sure center field, shortstop, catcher. Like those are defensive positions 100%. So the priority is, hey, we need you to lead this staff. We need you to catch these bullpens, catch these lives, like do whatever you got to do. And if you take a few hits offensively, like maybe not getting as much reps in the cage, then that is what it is because we're not really expecting you to produce as much as your third baseman or your right fielder or your first baseman, things of that nature.
So your Perez's of the worlds are truly unicorns.
Oh boy. I mean, you see it like the Cal Raleigh, what he did last year, like hitting 60 home runs. It's like incredibly unbelievable. Like when you see something like that happen, knowing the amount of stress and workload that the catcher has to endure throughout the whole season and then seeing them produce as the elite offensive guy on the team, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
okay. Well, I had to ask that for all the dads out there wondering why they get pissed off and throw shit at the TV when we're watching the Tribe and you know what I mean? And Bo Naylor cannot get on base. I just can't figure it out. But okay. All right. So let's go back to UCF. What was it like and how did that whole process go of you going from FAI or FIA?
No. So I went to State College of Florida.
That's right. State College of Florida.
Yep.
Then what? Somebody saw you at UCF?
So basically the way I got in touch with UCF, there was a couple other schools, Florida State, Miami, looking at me, but it wasn't anything serious. And Cincinnati, a couple other like mid-major schools. But when I was at junior college, our junior college had connections to them. So when I went to go play summer ball in Orlando, they would just pop on over a little bit. And I was getting some recommendations from some people that they knew that, hey, you should check out this kid, blah, blah, blah. And then they ended up being there, had a few good games. And then obviously they had a need at the catching position as well at UCF. They didn't have an upperclassman really. So I was the guy. And UCF was actually the first offer I got in junior college, and I just straight up took it. So I took it. I was like, whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent, could I have gone to another place if I waited? I mean, maybe, but also you don't know if that's, you don't know if that's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to get your opportunity. So my mentality on it was
when the door opens, you got to either walk through it or move on. And you got to,
they said I was going to get playing time and I would obviously have to compete for a job, but there's an opportunity there if I produce. Yeah. And I did. I didn't have a great year in 2020, but I ended up playing.
That's only 2 hours from home.
2 hours from home. So parents were there, friends were there often. And I think something for me mentally as well, it was nice knowing that I was still in state. Like
Sure.
going out of state for me really wasn't, because I'm a true Florida kid, man. I love the beach. So
Yeah.
I cannot play in the cold. Good Lord. So well, yeah, I cannot play in the cold. Some people can't. The people in the cold hate playing in the heat when it gets really hot and it's 110.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Like I am anything below 60 degrees, dude. I got 2 jackets on.
Yeah, so we usually start our season in Indiana, and I'm the dad that brings a torpedo heater in order to keep kids from getting frostbite. So you're saying that wouldn't work for you?
No, that would work for me. I would just be the kid glued to the heater. Like I would be there the whole game.
It's 40 degrees, raining,
yeah,
snowing.
Burning his batting gloves in his gloves, to warm everything up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did UCF go?
I mean, man, it was a great opportunity for me because I feel like it was really the breeding ground for kind of the rest of my career as a player. And then what I learned as far as like on the coaching side, the people that I ran into there, man, it was like elite. So got there in 2020. We ended up having a lot of junior college transfers that year.
Right.
First 15 or 16 games, I don't know what it was. We were 11th in the country. So we were projected to host a regional, like it was going to be sick. And then boom, COVID happens. Go over the summer. Like I said, I was hitting 200 at that point. It was really the first time I was getting incorporated in a strength program, in plyo balls and things of that nature. Cause we were back home in Sebring flipping tires and doing sledgehammers. Like we weren't in the weight room that much.
Right.
So that's how I grew up. So the weight room thing was a whole new transition for me. Cause I mean, at junior college, there's not really that big of there's some weightlifting stuff, but there's not a strength coach.
It's
like everyone's on their
prison
own.
gym. Yes.
So that's the way it was. So, and then obviously adapting to a D1, having study hall, having the whole 9 yards of things that you never expect coming from a JUCO, that next step up. It's a big, adjustment on you. Just even off the field stuff. There's a bunch, and then training off the field, going to see other coaches, things of that nature. So there's just a lot of stuff happening. But when we got done with that 2020 season, I went and we got the opportunity to play summer ball back again in Orlando because everywhere else was shut down. I was going to go to the Cape. The Cape was shut down. So the Florida Collegiate Summer League was the only place open. So a lot of the really good players played there. And that's when, again,
you guys had different regulations.
Yep.
So it was
never shut down.
Nope. Yes. So we were playing the whole summer. So I was training and playing the whole summer. So I think the biggest thing is at the time in 2020, I was introduced to a coach there at the on the UCF coaching staff, who his name is Andy Barquette. He was the assistant big league hitting coach for the Boston Red Sox when they won the World Series back in 2018.
Okay.
So when he was done with the Red Sox, he came to the University of Central Florida because his daughter, there was an opening there, and I think he was trying to help out a little bit. His daughter played soccer for UCF, and he lived locally. So that was just kind of no-brainer for him to come on over and help out a little bit, got involved. Yep. No question. He started bringing in a lot of the systems that they did with the Red Sox, him working with JD Martinez and Mookie Betts, a lot of the drill systems that they did. Now he's implementing that on 19 to 21-year-old college kids, and we're just emphasizing routine every day, doing the same thing every single day, because that's what these guys are doing. So if you want to go there, you need to do that too. So then he was running the scouting reports, man, and it was just like crazy the stuff that he had access to in pro ball, obviously, which I would run into later down the road. But seeing that in college, I was like, this is incredible. And we got really, really good. No question why we were 11th in the country. Then we come back, have that summer ball, got better, went to the same catching coach, Eddie Rodriguez, got even better at catching. Then come back the next year, fix my swing a little bit as well. Bought into really what is a routine. How can I execute it? Whether I go 4 for 4 or 0 for 4 or 3 punchies, I'm doing my same hitting routine every single day, and just trusting in the routine, and that in the long run, when we look up at 60 games later, I'm going to be in a good spot.
You guys had a professional cheat code, is what you had.
We did. Like Troy Tulowitzki, when he's coaching, like the same thing.
Right.
The same thing. It's really at the pro level, you just get introduced to. It's not necessarily the quantity of things, it's the quality of things. And he's teaching you how to take the quality more serious so you can get better in a shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of the stuff that I used from him and applied to my career, which led me right into pro ball, man. The hitting coach there, UCF, Ted Tom, he's now the A-ball hitting coach for the Washington Nationals.
Okay.
He also super influential in my career as far as like he, very serious guy, and he's like routine every single day, every single day, every single day. So between him and Andy, it's just like a great hitting environment, man.
Yeah.
So no question why everyone really, really excelled. And then I ended up, having over 1,000 OPS that year in college, and then got drafted. So the unfortunate part is that COVID really screwed me over because I was 22, not 21, and I had over 1,000 OPS. And who knows if I'm 21, what happens? Where I get drafted, but I got drafted in the 11th round as
So
a
wait,
22-year-old.
no, dumb that down for me. So just 1 year of age would have made you more or less valuable than is what you're saying.
Well, less valuable. It's going to make you 1 year of one older year of age is going to make you. It's not less valuable. It's that they don't have a requirement to pay you as much money because you don't have any leverage to go back to school. Like
Got
if I have to go back to school, it's as a senior, and then I'm going to sign as a $5,000 to $10,000 deal the next year. Whereas if I was a true junior, I do have the leverage. But at that time, I was what they call a COVID junior, aka a senior. So
Yeah.
I would have to go into a 5th year after that, so they could kind of lowball you, if
Yeah.
you will. And I ended up signing for full slot in the 11th round.
Right.
But yeah, I have so many friends, man. COVID really messed up a lot of people.
Jake,
Everybody
we've talked to has been through this COVID thing with ball.
Yeah. Yeah. The last 2 guys we had on too talked about COVID and how it, screwed, messed with their eligibility and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Jacob,
100%.
did you have something?
Okay. Yeah. What was one of the biggest like lessons you learned being at UCF? Whether it was good or it was bad, like
for me, I think it would be 2 things. One is, like I mentioned, the routine. It's as a hitter and as a baseball player, baseball is a game of failure, and the crap is going to hit the fan very often.
Yeah.
Very often. So you have to find a place of confidence within a routine. If you don't have a routine and you're just flying by the seat of your pants, you're going to be like this all year long. All year long. You're going to have good days and bad days, and your mental game is just going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
Whereas if I have a routine that I know, hey, these are the 5 things. This is the mobility routine. This is the arm care routine. This is the hitting routine that I do to make myself perform to the level I'm capable of on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, everything's going to fall into place for me because I'm going to play with my ultimate confidence more often. If I don't have a routine, then the confidence is going to be splotchy. You'll be there some games, and then you won't be there some games, and they'll be like, man, this guy's just too hit or miss. Like, I come watch him on a Wednesday at a midweek game and he goes 4 for 4, but then when he faces a really good guy on a Friday night, then he doesn't perform. Well, for me, that's because that person hasn't bought into a routine. So when the game is easy and when you know that the guy on the mound's not better than you, then it's easy to go. But when you know the guy on the mound's going to be a first rounder, and I'm not a first rounder, I got to find a way to elevate my game to that first round status to be able to at least compete with him 95, 96 with 3 different pitches for a strike, to be able to compete on a weekend series against some big teams. Like we played Ole Miss, Auburn, Miami, a lot of those teams. And we ended up at UCF having a lot of success against those teams. And I truly think that's because as a team, we bought into a system and we all kind of like encouraged each other. Dude, we know that this stuff works. It's coming from a credible source, and the people from that source make way more money than we do. So if it's good enough for Mookie Betts and JD Martinez, it's good enough for Josh Crouch. So that's kind of where I really got bought into that and sold on that. Number 2, I would say the most impactful thing at UCF was that was the first time that I started to put on some size and some weight and some muscle and gain weight and really make strides in the weight room. Because until then, I was like, if you go back and look at my pictures, I was 185 pounds, like
Right.
just a little kind of scrawny looking athlete, like blah, blah, blah. You can call a lot of different names for it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like big and ready to play pro ball like a lot of the guys I was playing against were. Like, can your body withstand be withheld through 140 to 160 games throughout a pro season? Like,
Okay.
I'm not going to do that at 185 pounds. Like, I need to put on some weight. So
Yeah.
I think that getting involved in that weight room and being like, man, this is what it feels like to go a full year and truly buy into the weight room side of things. That was also a game changer for me.
Yeah.
Plus it's also a lot different in college than in pro ball. In pro ball, you're playing 6 days a week. Like,
Right.
you can't really lift heavy like you do in college in pro ball. Pro ball, it's much more about maintenance and staying ready for the next game and the next game, because it's back to back to back to back to back, and you only have Mondays off.
Yeah.
Whereas in college, you have a midweek game and then you have the 3 on the weekend. So it's like there's a gap of 3 days where, man, I got some off time, I got some time to recover, so you can increase the weight room intensity a lot.
Yeah.
So I was able to make strides, and that's when I was introduced to the nutritional side of things, and I think that really elevated my game. Just because I wasn't ever used to that coming from, small town. We didn't have any guys that were pushing that side of the game.
Yeah.
So,
And that's also too, that's probably where a lot of business decisions, as they say, get made, is in college with that free time. In that free time, you're either striving to become a professional or you're striving to become a college kid.
yes.
And that's those off days that you're talking about where that's the separator. That's the
Yes.
separator when you get to big boy ball, right?
100%. And I think that that's a real conversation kids have to have themselves in college. There's only very few kids that can participate in the things that happen in college and be able to be at their best every single day. There's going to have to be some sacrifices. There's very few God-gifted 5-tool athletes that just show up every single day and they're the best player on the field. There are very few of those.
Yeah.
The rest of us normal people like myself, we have to be able to find something to buy into, like the routine, where we are like, we got to find something to at least get us to average, man. And then the mentality takes us the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, if you look at what people have written up about me over my,
Just so you know, it's called a NERP. We've learned that last night.
No, a NARP.
A NARP? Normal, what is it? Normal, average,
non-athletic regular person.
Okay. That's what MJ calls them. MJ was explaining to us who he would hang out with. And how do you say it? A NARP? A NARP? He's like, yeah, we just, you would just kick it with NARPs. And I'm like, hold up, stop. Can you please tell the audience what a NARP is? He's like, oh yeah, normal, non-athletic
regular people.
And I'm like, dude, that's the most racist shit I've heard all day.
Bro, it's like, yeah, but it's, I mean, to a certain point, I mean, my guy's right. Like,
Yeah.
there's gonna be some sacrifices there, man. Like, there's the freaks and then everyone else that's regular. Like, and you can't, as a regular person, think that you're a freak, even though mentally you want to think that. But
Right.
you have to know yourself and know the player that you are. Like, man, I don't just wake up in the morning and throw 97. Like, I'm not that guy. Like, I got to work for everything that I have and do it every single day. So for me, I think there was a lot of sacrifices, a lot of like, I'm not saying as a college guy, don't go out and participate and do the stuff that, hang out with your team and do things of that nature. 100%, I'm all in on that stuff because college baseball is the best time ever. Like, you
Sure.
talk to anybody in pro ball, like, unless
Yeah.
you're talking about winning a
Right.
World Series, they're like, man, college was the days, man.
Yes.
Like going
Yes.
back and just going to strive to get to the regional and super regional and the College World Series, like that process and
real.
going,
That's
it's
real.
real, man. It's
Yeah.
real. So it's like, but some guys, if they really want to go play pro ball, they got to take it way more seriously than other people, and they got to lock in on every single facet of the game. Whereas some people have the God-given talent to where they can maybe take some of that off and still get away with it.
Did you play with guys that their dream was just college ball and then they were good? Like that was it?
100%
did?
because
Okay.
100% because that's what's paying the scholarship sometimes.
Okay.
So maybe they want to go be a doctor, they want to go do that, but baseball is their
avenue
for them to get there.
Okay.
Baseball is their car.
Because
Did you
not
have-
everyone wants to be a pro baseball player and live that lifestyle.
All right. So did you ever did you ever play with somebody that you're like, dude, like he didn't want it as bad as those of you that were striving for pros, but he had every tool that you needed to make. Oh, did you? And you're just like, you're just like, bro, like, why don't you want this as bad as I do? And okay.
No, it's 100%. Whether it's like they have the tools, like the 5 tools that we talked about, they have them, but whether it be, where baseball is on that priority list is maybe a little bit different. Like it's just a casual thing, or maybe they're again doing it to just pay the bills for tuition.
Right.
Like that is what it is.
Yeah.
But there's definitely guys that have had the talent and, have either squandered it by their own personal decisions, or they just don't care. So, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying it takes a different mentality to go play pro ball, like 100%.
There's guys that don't have the tools, but work and get there because they did want it. So yeah, it's a two-way shit. But yeah, I mean, I think all of us, I mean, I'm 50 years old. We all have that friend in high school that were like, dude, if any of us had a shred of your talent and we would run with it and never give it back. And here you are just pissing this away at the pool hall, like doing nothing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, all right. So what was the draft like and how did that go?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was at, right when the UCF, we lost in the conference tournament to USF that year, and they ended up making it to a super regional.
Okay.
And then at that time, I was kind of sprinkling into some pre-draft workouts and things of that nature.
Okay.
And I had.
Do you have an advisor? Did you have an advisor?
You took the words out of my mouth. So at the time, I was advisorless. And then as we're going into the conference tournament at the end of the year, I reached out to one of my close friends and I told him, I said, one of my friend's dads. And I was like, hey, I don't have an advisor. Like, I don't have an agent. I dropped my old agent. Is there someone that that you could recommend them to come watch me or things of that nature? Just, is there someone that I can talk to that can maybe represent me?
Yeah.
And so this guy, Tom O'Connell, was my agent for the six seasons in pro ball. Shout out Tom O'Connell. He's going to see this 100%. He came to the conference tournament, ended up hitting 4 home runs in the conference tournament. And he was like, okay, I'm going to take this guy. And then, cause he didn't take that many guys overall.
Okay.
He's not part of an agency that has many different agents underneath them as an umbrella.
Okay. Yeah.
He's just his own guy. And he has one guy named Chris that helps him out.
Okay.
So I had a really good conference tournament, and then he was telling me, like, as I was going to some of these pre-draft workouts and things of that nature, like, hey man, we don't really know, like, I didn't know if I was going to get drafted. Like, I had 1,000 OPS and there was still a question if I was going to get drafted. So, and I'm freaking out. Like, I put in all this time, effort, and energy to be able to play catch up from college and for 4 years, basically, to be able to catch up to all the other catchers in the country. And I don't know if I'm going to get drafted. So I'm freaking out like crazy.
Yeah.
And then we end up having a draft party at my buddy's house. And I got a call in the 6th round, I think. And they asked me 6th or 7th round, maybe 8th round, to sign for like $50,000 and like way under slot.
Okay.
Just as like a senior sign kind of guy. They said,
okay.
Now, obviously, the draft's 20 rounds. You'll see in like round 7 through 10, they take some guys that were older for way less money, and then they save their money for later on in the draft. So that's kind of what happened. But my agent was like, nope, we're going to get full slot. We're going to get the $125,000 in the 11th round or later on day 3. So
that's
just trust me.
Tough. That's got to be tough to trust.
Sleepless night, I'll tell you that. Sleepless night. So I was like, I mean, okay, like, I trust you. You've been doing this a long time. Let's do it. Yeah. So then we call, and I'm, one of the first picks in the 11th round by the Tigers. And then I know that we also had some calls from some other teams after that if I didn't get drafted by them, I was going to get taken a couple picks later. So, but it worked out with the Tigers because, man, the spring training's 45 minutes from my house in Central Florida, in Lakeland, Florida.
Right.
So closest spring training stadium to my house. So it was
friends, family get to come watch all that shit.
Yep. So that was really, really special. Cause obviously if I was from Florida to Arizona, like,
Yeah.
your parents maybe get to come out once, but my parents always came up on the weekends and things of that nature. So it was
Yeah.
great. It was great. And yeah, so the draft time was very, very stressful. I don't think it's for the guys that know they're going early, it's obviously, yes, 100% stressful on them because a bunch of different things can change as far as
Sure.
like this team decides to take this guy instead of you, so then you're
Right.
dropping down and you're freaking out. So it's just a roller coaster of emotions. But
Yeah.
from I think guys later in the draft that are not even sure if they're going to get drafted,
Yeah.
like I think it's even more stressful because it's like, man, I might have to be signing a free agent contract here or something like that instead
Okay.
of. So it's just again, every person's different, really depending upon how did you perform, what conference are you in, how old are you, what position do you play, what's
Right.
the organizational need. Like
Yeah.
there's so many facets.
So what was
That
the Tigers? What was the Tigers organization like?
so the
That's your
Tigers,
first taste. That's your first taste of being a professional. What was that like?
yeah, man, I can't say enough good things about them. I mean, as a pro, I didn't really know what to expect.
Okay.
I didn't know what to expect. So, but the coaches that I met along the way there, I mean, just first class. Like, catch a lot. Interestingly enough, a lot of the guys that coached me were former catchers in the big
Okay.
leagues.
Okay.
So I think a lot of, and even in the minor leagues for a long time as well. So I think the kind of person and the player that I molded into was a result of the coaches that I was around.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, coming into the Tigers, Al Avila was the GM at the time when I
Okay.
was there. He's the guy that drafted me.
Okay.
And then after my first full season, he got wiped and the new front office came in. So there was a completely new, and then Scott Harris, who's there now, he was the front office that had come in. So there was obviously some changes and some different hirings and some, you know, guys getting promoted, guys getting demoted and
Yeah.
on the player development side of things. So,
Right.
but I could just say that the two things, the group of guys that I got drafted with, I mean, so many good memories. I mean, I
Okay.
still stay in contact with a bunch of them, obviously, even though I got Rule 5 to the Angels. But I mean, and a lot of them are, currently in the big leagues right now, like, Ty Madden, Brant Herter, Jackson Jobe, Hao-Yu Lee, he just got called up, played with Kevin McGonigal, like all these guys. It was just a great experience
Okay.
for me. I learned so much from them because in college, especially as a catcher, I think that a lot of people are kind of babysat because they're going to have a little earpiece in their ear and they're going to say fastball away, slider, and there's no reason. There's a reason the pitching coach is the only one that knows why, because the pitching coach doesn't necessarily pull the catchers in on those conversations.
Okay.
At some programs, they do, but
Okay.
my experience between junior college and then in at UCF, we were not brought in on the scouting report side of things. Obviously, we knew what the pitcher's strengths were, but we didn't really scout the other team.
Okay.
So when I got to the Tigers, the biggest thing that I realized is I'm on my freaking own. Like,
Yeah.
I got to figure out a game plan. I got to know the other team. I got to know my pitcher. I got to figure out what makes my pitcher tick. And I got to be able to execute that inside of a game plan, whether the pitcher's on that day or off that day. There's got to be an A plan and a B plan and
Yeah.
a C plan.
Yeah.
So there's just, and I got to know everyone in the bullpen.
Yeah.
So that goes back to your comment on why catchers don't necessarily hit. It's because I think it's just because that's just down on the priority list. Obviously, hitting in today's game is being elevated a little bit more, but you see, well, the priority of hitting, whether or not it actually happens,
Very good point. Yes.
the priority of hitting is definitely increasing more. Whereas you see like Patrick Bailey, like he got traded, like he's a 2-time Gold Glover. They got traded because he wasn't hitting.
Yeah.
So, and whether there's something else there, I don't know. But I played against Patrick a little bit in AA with the Tigers. So, and he elite defender. I like watching a lot of his videos and try and model myself after him as far as like, throwing from different arm slots, relating to that, me being as an infielder prior. Like I want to be an infielder with catcher's gear. I
Yeah.
don't want to be one of the, I'm just not one of those big, bulky 6'3" catchers or guys that are super big back there, kind of just big target. No, I'm mobile, all over the place, athletic. So I'm looking at catchers that I can emulate, that
Yeah.
have that same style
Mhm.
of play.
Yeah.
So, but that was the thing with the Tigers, man. I had a lot of catching up to do, and these coaches taught me hey, this is how you create a game plan. Obviously, there's the analytics side of it, and you do the game planning online through different databases and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But it all boils down to, you got to have a really good relationship with the guys in the bullpen. You need to know what makes them tick. You need to know the guys that you can get onto. You need to know the guys that you have to cater and go over there and pat their butt a little bit, make them feel good.
Yeah.
Like you got to know.
So I have a question then, as you say that and the importance of it,
Yeah.
is that why Austin Hedges is so revered with our organization? Because he's apparently, like, obviously I've never met the guy, but he is here to specifically specifically hold the hand of the pitching staff for the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah.
Like, apparently he's just famous for his ability to have these relationships, and that's what you're talking about.
Yes, he's and there's been plenty of catchers like that in the past that have had 10+ year careers because of their relationship abilities. So, and I think the guys that I was coached by in the minor leagues, that's the guys that I was coached by.
His son has a gift to make best friends with an oak tree if he has to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as a catcher, he has that ability. So, like, that is a tool that Brantley always will have, that a lot of kids that may have better footwork than him do not have Brantley's ability to relate to people and get them to fall in love with him.
Exactly. No, exactly. And that's something that's like a sixth tool for a catcher. That's like the uncoachable stuff.
Yeah.
So, whereas Brantley is his name.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. So Brantley, if he doesn't have as good of tools as other people in the showcase circuit, if he just makes himself presentable enough to where he can get to college and continue to build these relationships down the road, if he gets good enough, he's going to get a shot at pro ball, just because that's valuable. That's valuable. Like, at the end of the day, because there's also, on the flip side, there's guys that have a ton of talent and can't manage a pitching staff, and they're out of pro ball too. So you can't just say it's all about the talent. There is very much a game management and a pitching staff leading, and there's a presence, to go back to Hedges. He has a presence as, hey man, if this guy's back behind the dish today, like, I got a really good shot because I trust everything that he's putting down, and I know that he has my best interest at heart.
Right.
So, and that's really kind of, as I went through the minor leagues, that's what I tried to emulate. Early on, I wasn't really sold out to that because I was worried about hitting. And then I had a really good offensive year. And then I realized that, look, it doesn't matter if I get 4 hits. I still got to go out and catch those guys.
Yeah.
Because if I go 0 for 4 and that pitcher sees me pouting and throwing my stuff at the end of the dugout, and then he knows that I'm calling pitches out there on the field, and my head's still like spinning from the prior at bat, that's not going to build a lot of confidence in them with me behind the dish. So I had to kind of adjust my way of thinking and adjust my approach to, hey man, it's very cliche and you hear it a lot. You got to be able to separate offense and defense. And it's very true, because when you're 110 games into it and you're going through an 0 for 20 slump, man, you're going to feel like throwing your helmet through the wall in the tunnel. But at the end of the day, you may just have to push that to the side, go set it down. And the way that I can make up for that strikeout is by going out and calling a scoreless inning. So it's about reframing the priority. Like, yes, it is important to hit, and that is a big priority in today's game.
Yeah.
But if I throw up a 0 with that guy on the mound, my catcher's ERA is every bit as important.
That just squared those two out.
Yes. So, I mean, man, to go back to some of the coaches I had, like, they were backups in the big leagues and they were relationship guys. They weren't necessarily like your frontline starters that were catching every day. They were the guys that caught maybe 2 games a week, but they really knew how to go in. You knew you were going to get a good outing out of the pitcher with that guy behind the plate, just because he did his homework. He knows the pitcher. He's going to, put his body on the line for you back there. He knows how to have a relationship with the umpire. He's checking all the boxes of the intangibles for a catcher.
Yeah.
So, and I learned through those guys, and that's, you know, kind of the game that the kind of player that I've emulated myself after, you know, as I got later on in my career.
Jacob, did you have something you went to your beard like 7 times?
Oh no, I had an itch. You're good.
Okay.
It really did.
So so then I do have a question that is not anything that other than just popped up as you're talking about this relationship aspect of being a professional catcher. Obviously coming through UCF and listen, you're getting offers out of high school. You're the man at UCF. Your OPS is 1,000. You're getting drafted. There's a little bit. You have to have a little bit of an ego in order to fight through the bullshit to be able to get to a draft. First of all, you've got to be the dude. And then you get to pro ball. And as a professional catcher, you gotta figure out how to turn that back off now, don't you? Because everything is about the rubber, and you're the unsung hero that nobody ever gets to talk about. Is that hard? Like emotionally and psychologically, is that tough?
I mean, yeah, because sometimes I feel like you do want people to pat your back a little bit, but
It ain't gonna happen.
that's part of the game. That's part of. I'm the one that signed up to put the catcher's gear on, so there's certain things that come with the position that I have to just be okay with.
And you know going in.
And I know going in. Well, I didn't necessarily know going in, but I figured it out quick.
Okay.
Like, I'm not the
Okay.
priority here. Like, it's about the dude on the mound, because if the dude on the mound crumbles, we're probably going to lose the game. So I got to find a way to be his personal psychologist and figure out, you know, if you give up 2 runs this inning, I got to figure out a way to keep it at 2 runs. This can't spiral and we get to 5 runs and then have no shot coming back later in the game. So
do you guys ever mess around with like psychological classes or anything like that? And like, do you guys study any of that stuff to get to know? And how many languages do you know?
I mean, I would say that I know, like, I mean, I'm obviously, 10%, 15% maybe Spanish. Like, I understand more than I can respond just from all the Latins that I played with. But
that's why he asked.
Did you ever did you ever have to did you ever have to catch any Japanese and you were just like, no clue. I got no idea, coach.
Yeah, no, like I played with Hao Yu Lee, who's in the big leagues with the Tigers now as an infielder, and he was actually my roommate in high A and for a little bit. But yeah, no, a lot of English guys, plus the higher and higher you go, like AA, AAA, things of that nature.
Yeah.
The Spanish guys are speaking English. It's really the lower levels.
It's just Jose Ramirez. He's the only one holding out.
It's the lower levels where they really don't, and they're going through those English classes and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Man.
Okay. I was just curious because I know that it's got to be a psychological warfare, and I just didn't know if you guys, you know, if there's catchers out there that separate themselves because they're studying psychology in the off season as much as they're studying scouting reports, or if it's just a feel for each individual and it's just a best friend relationship.
Exactly. So I think it's a little bit of both. You can take some mental courses and read some books that obviously help you out. Because I think, you know, reflecting on my career, just being done a short time ago, the mental game is probably something that I could have gotten better at. But also I will say this, and a lot of people I think would agree with this. The mental game, you can learn all you want, but until you're on the field putting it into application, it doesn't mean anything. I could read 100 books on the mental game and be really book smart, but that doesn't mean I can apply it into the game. So you need to be...
Bro, there's a lot of architects that have never swung a hammer.
Yes.
So I get what you're saying. And that's the way to dumb it down. There's a lot of architects that have designed amazing architectural structures that have no idea how to put that screw into that board.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's, for me and what I've learned, it's about being sold out to the best interest of every pitcher on that team. Like, that's what it is. At the beginning of the year, I need to go up and I need to introduce myself to them, obviously, at spring training. And then throughout spring training and then the early parts of whenever we're at the affiliate and the early parts of the season, we got to be on the same page. I got to know what makes you tick, like I've already mentioned.
Yeah.
You got to know what makes me tick, and I got to be level-headed enough to be able to bring the best version of myself defensively out there every single inning for 8 or 9 innings.
What's the weirdest shit you ever had to do? in order to get somebody back on track? Did you ever have to sacrifice a chicken? Did you ever have to put on women's underwear? And
I mean, I haven't personally done anything, but I've known guys, excuse me, I've known guys that have gone out and like worn thongs and hit home runs and
so
just like crazy. Like there was a guy that I played with that didn't. There was a guy that I played with that didn't wear anything underneath his pants, and he went out and hit a bomb that game. And it's just like, dude, some of the stuff that happens in the baseball locker room is unreal. But it's like, hey man, if you're 0 for 15 and you're still playing every day, like you gotta, even though it's fake, like you gotta like fake yourself into trying to do it.
Do you think that it's true that professional baseball players are hands down? I think I heard a stat one time that outside of professional golfers, they're the most
superstitious.
Yeah, superstitious of any pro athlete on planet Earth. It's golfers and pro baseball players.
100%.
Is it? Okay.
100%. Especially like, there's hitters that are very superstitious, but I also know a lot of pitchers that are very superstitious as well. So it's like, because the pitchers are, I mean, they're very routine oriented people. Like you got starting pitchers that are showing up doing the same stretches every single day, doing the same throwing routine every single day because it's under their control.
It's built in.
As a starting pitcher, you only got one outing a week, maybe two if you're a guy that throws on Tuesday and Sunday in a 5-man rotation.
Yeah.
Like if you're that guy, you have to lock in. So some guys really like go to the absolute max on. When I walk in the door, I'm not talking to a single person. It's headphones on. I'm just like mean mugging everyone the whole time.
Right. They're backing into their parking spot and not pulling in for all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy. And everyone is a different player. So it's like, that's another thing as a catcher, like I already mentioned, is you got to get used to all those different personalities, man. Because some guys you'll be able to relate to easily. And then some guys that are from a different part of the country, you're like, man, I gotta figure out a way to get on this page. I gotta figure out some level of like, how can I connect with this dude? Like, where do we have similar interests that I can break the ice and like have a conversation with them? And then over time they get used to you. But early on, man, it's like your pitchers are your best friend. So for me, even my manager in high A told me that, hey, this is not common, but whenever you're done, if you're not playing that day, I want you to go down to the bullpen and hang out with the bullpen and hang out with the pitchers down there to continue to develop a relationship with those people. Whether just sitting in the dugout, I can only talk to the starters, where I got 12, 13 people down there that I'm going to be catching later on this week. I need to be able to get used to the relievers as well. So in spending a lot of time in the bullpen figuring out, hey, I just can't do catching drills and have conversations. I have to actually get behind the dish and catch their bullpens and figure out, hey, this guy tends to miss this way with the fastball. This is a good target that I could give him to get him to fix it. Hey, this is something, if I go 2-0, if I throw a fastball on a fastball, I know what's his best off-speed pitch that he can throw behind in the count. So I know automatically if he goes fastball, ball 1, fastball, ball 2, I'm dropping down a slider. And then if we get back in the count, I'm probably going to do it again because he just threw that for a strike and do that again. Now I'm back 2-2. We're back in the count. So it's just like knowing little things like that is just, and because you got to be able to know it and then apply it. Now with the game clock, you got 18 seconds to make a decision.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then in AA, when I was there this year, they implemented a 1 step off rule. So now it's not 2 disengagements. It's 1. So now I got a decision to make, and if he picked over to first base, not only do I have a decision to make, but that runner's stealing. Like it's a track meet. Like they're trying to get more stolen bases to go through the roof and create more traffic on the bases because the offense, obviously, on the hitting side is down. So they got to find another way to create traffic. So walks and stolen bases are a big part of the game as well. So I think that on that side of things, there's just so many things that a catcher has to be able to focus on in professional baseball. And college doesn't prepare you for that. It doesn't prepare you for that. There's only very few programs that are truly preparing you to be a professional catcher because the skill gap is very small. Like there's little small things that you can do between college and pro ball, but the mental gap is humongous because there's so many things that you have to figure out. And the only way that you can figure them out is through reps and thousands of innings behind the plate and hundreds of different pitchers and seeing different pitch shapes. Like
in
I said,
minor leagues in all the levels. Yeah.
I said this to a kid earlier today when I was working on him with catching. I was like, hitting, you hear all the time, hitting is a game of quality over quantity. But I'm convinced from my experiences in my career, catching is quantity over quality, because I can take a couple quality reps catching this guy's bullpen, but if I'm not back there for the whole bullpen, I'm not truly learning him. So I need to be squatting and putting in the grunt work back there, figuring out, hey, I got to catch 100 pitches here to figure this dude out. I can't just say, oh, I'm going to take 5 quality reps and I'm going to be done and we're going to be ready for the game tomorrow. That's not how it is. Whereas hitting, you hear some guys, they walk in the cage, they take 5 swings,
They're
go into
good.
the house.
Right.
Catching is not that way. It's way more quantity over quality.
Okay. All right. Go, Jacob. Did you have something?
Yeah, I do. You know, you were talking about the long seasons and you being a catcher. How did you keep yourself motivated? I know, because I'm sure you got up some days and you were just sore, tired, and days you just wanted to be like, I just want to lay in bed all day.
Yep. No, I mean, so this is part that I'm pretty passionate about is I think a lot of people in my career, they've known me to, I've early on in my career, I really wasn't focused on the nutritional side of things.
Yeah.
But then
here we go.
Then later in my career, through prior instances with my family, you know, grew up, my mom had breast cancer. My dad, you know, had triple bypass surgery, had a heart attack several years ago back in 2023. So seeing him come back and recover from that, thank the Lord, and make a full recovery, I've realized the importance of nutrition. And I think that's the missing skill gap between a lot of people, because at the end of the day, you could be the most talented person in the world, but a lot of people miss their ceiling, like I said, because they're not on the field.
They can't recover.
They're not on the field. You can't be the player you're capable of if you're constantly getting hurt and you're blowing out your arm and you're blowing out your knee and you're messing up your back, and you just won't reach your capability.
Yeah.
Whereas I realized that not only do you have to really emphasize the strength side of things, the mobility side of things, the stability side of things, the recovery side of things, you also have to throw in the nutrition. And in pro ball, you're doing it every single day. Nutrition and sleep. Can't forget about the sleep and hydration. Good Lord. So
we just keep adding shit.
Keep adding. And it really is. If you really want to reach, if you listen to the guys that are at the Ohtani, like Ohtani's on top of all of it. Like he's got the plan of like, hey, this is what I'm doing every day throughout the month. This is my nutrition. This is my blah, blah, blah. And he just buys out to that to go back to the routine. So I believe that there is something on the nutritional side of things as well. Like, hey, I'm not saying you can't have cheat days, and I'm not saying that, you know, you can't go to run through, you know, Taco Bell every now and then, like, because there's nothing else to eat, even though I wouldn't recommend that. I'd rather starve than go to Taco Bell. But like, so I live like an 85-15 lifestyle or a 90-10 lifestyle. 90% of the time I'm going to lock in on my nutrition, whether that be my supplementation through, you know, different supplements, protein powders, hydration packets, things of that nature. But then the food that I'm eating as well, like I got to make sure that I'm having enough protein, like I'm having enough carbs, I'm having enough vegetables, things of that nature that have kept me on the field. Because
Josh, don't you think though that the reason you probably it's easier for you now is because you had a clubhouse seat to sit and watch the best in the game, and that's what it took. So it just mentally, it was like, okay, there is no other option. There is no option to not do it today. I have to, if I like this car, I have to, if I like this house, like you had a front row seat to it.
Yeah. Even though, even guys that make a lot of money, they don't necessarily emphasize nutrition, but then you'll see, like, just because they're in the big leagues and just because they're in professional baseball, that doesn't mean they got the nutrition side of things locked in. They don't have the recovery, the nutrition, the hydration. They don't have that necessarily locked in. They're just crazy God-gifted and talented, the freaks of nature. But there's some guys, like like the average normal people of the world that I was telling you that maybe because they don't have the talent, they have to lock in on something like nutrition to be able to like, hey, I'm putting on 15 pounds this offseason. The only way I'm going to be able to put on 15 pounds and maintain that and sustain it is I got to stay on top of my calories, and I got to stay on top of the amount of protein that I'm taking. I got to stay on top of my supplements. I got to make sure I'm getting enough good sleep. Like the whole
Being a
9
pro,
yards.
being a
Yes.
pro is being a pro.
Yes, 100%, because injuries are, I mean, obviously injuries are skyrocketing at all levels of today's game. And not only do I think is that because of overuse at a younger level, but I also think that's because, you know, food now is worse than it's ever been. Like it's not good quality food. And unfortunately, some people may not have the financial means to be able to invest in high quality food. And so you got to find a way to work,
or dirt to grow it.
or dirt to grow it. So that's what I'm saying. You got to find a way, if you really want to reach your ceiling and go where you're capable of going, to make that a priority in your life, because a lot of people's careers have been derailed too early because of something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So we get through the Tigers, and then you said you were something 5'd. What did you say?
Yeah. So I was Rule 5. So basically,
what is that?
After it's a draft that takes place at the winter meetings. And it is, if I, after my 5th season of baseball, have not been put on a AAA roster, then I am eligible to be picked up by another team. They basically pay cash for me. And then
a bucket of balls. Whatever.
More or less. It's like, I think it's like $25,000 or something. If I'm not on a AAA roster, they can draft me, Rule 5 draft, and then pay like $25,000 or maybe a little more than that. I don't know. $25,000 for me, and then now I'm on their team. They have to put me on the AAA roster to start in the off season, but then I can report to anywhere in that. I can go to AA, I can go to high A, it doesn't matter. So, or I can go to AAA if they choose to do that. But so for me, I was Rule 5 after the 2024 season. So that was, I got drafted in 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah. So then that was, and I mean, goodness gracious, that process was crazy, because I was out to eat with one of the mentors from our church, and I got a call, or I got a text in the group text and said, "Hey Crouch, congrats, you've been Rule 5," because I wasn't watching it because I had a terrible season offensively with the Tigers that year. So I was like, I had a really good defensive year, but offensively I did terrible. So I was like, I'm not even going to watch this. And then I got a text in the group chat, "Hey dude, congrats, you're going to the Angels." And I'm like, what? And because I wasn't on social media at that time, and sure enough, I got a call like 10 minutes later from someone in their front office, and then I was there, and you know, spent
across
all of
the country,
Florida boy going to Arizona. So that was amazing. Being out in Arizona and getting to experience an Arizona spring training, which is very different than Florida spring training. Very different.
Dry.
Very dry, very hot. I mean, it was up to 110 this past spring training when I was there. So it's just I'm used to the humid heat. This is the dry oven heat. So I'd take Florida any day over that. That was just ridiculous. So, but then got to integrate into another system, and got to see the differences between the two systems. And again, ran into so many coaches there that played in the big leagues for a long time. And I learned so much on the game calling side, like the relationship side as well. Like my double A first base coach last year was Rod Barajas, who caught in the big leagues, won a World Series, and now he is in the big leagues with the Texas Rangers as like a quality control / catching coach. And he was our first baseman. So guy won the World Series, first base coach. And then Andy Schatzley was our third base coach, who was the manager, and now he's the big league infield coach for the Angels now.
All right. So so let's just get it there. What led you, because you were with the Angels, you come over to that organization, and then it leads you to the situation where you have a decision to make that you're not seeing big league time, you are seeing big league time. What is the reason that got you to the point where you're like, okay, it's time for the next chapter in my life? What got us there?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, where I was at mentally,
I would hope you'd be honest with me.
yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie. So I think where I was at mentally is, got married the prior year. Wife was pregnant. Ended up having a son, and
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congrats.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing.
I have one for sale if you're still shopping. So,
so no, I think one is quite enough for now.
You can roll 5 in for 25 grand.
Yeah, you can roll 5 in for 25 grand. Well played. Well played.
That's great. So I think, I don't know, something just I had a decent year in 2025. Nothing crazy. I mean, had a lot of improvements to make.
Sure.
So I went home, didn't end up getting invited to big league camp the next year. And then having a kid really, like, I mean, goodness gracious, like it changed everything for me. Like, yes, I wanted to make the big leagues. Yes.
Having a kid, did you go from 90-10 to then 60-40?
I mean, no, because I think my wife very much, she's a real estate agent here in Middle Tennessee area, and she values nutrition as well. So
she values the way your clothes fit at a 90-10.
Yeah. And guess what? Also, the funniest thing with her is that she doesn't know a thing about baseball. So it was like completely different than anything. Like, she didn't even know what like a triple was. So she's just completely in business at 23, 24 years old, and she's like, so I'm like, this is something completely different than I've ever dealt with. So, but it was nice because I was able to actually disconnect, because I can't talk about baseball whatsoever with her. She doesn't understand anything,
which is great.
And that's, in the past, I was not around people like that. It was just baseball. There was no disconnection. And so obviously she ended up we had our son in January, and then leaving to go to spring training the next year, it was awful. Like, it was awful. And a lot of guys I know, friends and buddies that are in the minor leagues right now, they're their wives and they're pregnant. And it just changes you mentally when he comes out, because it's like, man, he just came out, and a couple weeks later, I gotta go. And I'm going to Arizona, and because he's so young, we didn't want to roll the dice putting him on a plane. And
you talk about him like he's a loaf of bread. He came out. I don't.
That's great. No, no, and it was just really sad, honestly, because I was out there in an apartment all by myself. Like, I'd see other teammates with their wives traveling with them. They have several kids.
FaceTiming until 2:00 in the morning. Yeah.
Different time zones, like, just crazy. And I'm exhausted at the end of the day. Like, I don't have that much energy to exert to it. So it's for people that say, I mean, relationships in professional baseball are so difficult. It really puts a lot of, like, kudos to the people that continue to stay together throughout the entire time, because it is so much dedication on both sides have to be put in to be able to continue to grow in your relationship, because it's very easy to disconnect. You're on the road 24/7. You're up till 11:30 at night. If you have a son, your son's down for bed. You don't get to FaceTime him. So I think for me, it just started to switch. It was like,
and just think about it. Think about it. Just think about how demented the idea of parenting through FaceTime. Like, you think about it, like, Jacob, I talk all the time. Josh, back in 2011, 12, I was in professional archery, and my wife and I had just had Hudson, who's now 12. And we were traveling the country, and he was literally being raised for the first 2 years of his life in a car seat in a hotel room because of the circuit. You know what I mean? And we were like, yeah, no, not going to happen. I can't imagine having to depend. Like, at least I was able to reach around back and tickle his foot. You can't even, like, you guys can't even do that.
Yeah, no. And then on top of that, I mean, we haven't even talked about the salary. Like, thank God that my wife was providing for us, through real
Selling
estate.
houses.
And that was a huge blessing because, $35,000 with a kid, I mean, that's not really going to cut it. Like, not in today's age.
Yeah.
So it's
there
like,
it is, folks, there's the reality of it. There's the reality of it right there for all of those that are like, I can't wait for the glitz and the glamour and the 35 grand.
Yep. The 35, you have your signing bonuses, but guess what? There's only 5 rounds in the draft really that profit from a serious amount of signing bonus, unless you're a guy who got drafted on, like a high school guy that got drafted in the 11th round for 1.5 million. Like, those are common nowadays, where the team saved money, but like, those are rare. It's only, so the other 15 rounds, you're getting, 125,000, 200,000 or less. Some guys are getting 10, 15, 20, 50 grand. Like, then obviously you have taxes. Then obviously, if you have a car, you're trying to pay off a car, and it's like,
everybody's pulling from it.
I'll just say this now too, because I've ran into a lot of coaches in my career, especially with the Angels as well, that coming up in the minor leagues 2 decades ago, 30 years ago, like even 10 years ago, completely different. Like, when the new CBA came in and they started, mandating they pay for housing and mandating certain insurances and mandating them pay for our hotels have to be a certain quality and mandating that there has to be a certain quality food. Like, it's definitely a better lifestyle by far than what it used to be 20, 30 years ago. It used to be crazy. Like, 7, 8 guys living together, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Like, they're not kidding. Like, that was a reality. So to be able to endure that and make it to the big leagues, I mean, hats off to you, because I mean, it's hard now, but the amount of things that we've gotten through the Players Association, they've increased the standards. Like, it's, even with the standards, it's still a strain. It's still a strain, because obviously now things are more expensive. So now the 35,000 doesn't really go as far. And then you take away, I'm gone for 8 months out of the year. Like, only Mondays off. And then you have the All-Star break in July for 3 or 4 days, and that's it. And you're playing Tuesday through Sunday, and that's it. And it's like, man, you better get used to bus rides and plane flights and, living below your means and things of that nature, because there's some serious sacrifices that have to be made. So yes, for guys that go to the SEC or SEC, ACC, Big 12, Pac-12 programs that have a lot of money and then these NIL deals, like, I mean, unless they're blessed enough to be drafted in the top 5 rounds, they're not going to be living that glamorous, glitzy life that they were making.
They're getting aware of that now.
And they're getting aware of that. Exactly. So it's like, it is what it is. I mean, that's just the reality of college that it is right now. I wasn't fortunate enough to be a part of that era. But I mean, when you go to the minor leagues, you are taking a step down from Florida State, LSU, all these big programs. Like, you're taking a huge step down. And then to be able to run a relationship and a marriage and a son through all that, and then what if something goes wrong in your marriage, or something goes wrong in life, and something goes wrong with the pregnancy, and something goes wrong in your playing career? Yes, it goes wrong with something happens during the year, and you're scraping, so now you're playing less. And now you're dealing with all this on the field, and then you come off the field and you're dealing with this all off the field. And it's like, you have to deal with that as a minor leaguer until you can become a free agent. After your 7th year, then you can become a minor league free agent, and then you could start to make a little bit of money. The only problem is that most guys don't make it to that long. Most guys don't get to make it to play 6, 7 seasons, and then they could sign a free agent contract. Most guys are out in 2, 3, 4 years, and then they're just recycled, because there's 20 rounds every single year, every single July. There's new players. And that's never going to change. And then indie ball now is more competitive than ever. So then you have indie ball players. When someone gets cut, indie ball players coming in to fill that until the draft comes around. And then the indie ball player is going to get cut. And then the draft guys are going to fill that spot. So it's just like,
it's wild.
It's a hamster wheel. It's a hamster wheel. That's what it is.
Go ahead, Jacob.
I know you guys were talking about the FaceTiming thing. I don't know if you guys saw what Freddie Freeman said. He was asked about, retirement, because he just had a daughter. And he said he's had to FaceTime raise his boys. And he said, that's one of the hardest things, and he doesn't know if he could do, keep doing it. And I mean, it just, I thought of that when you said, you didn't want to be a FaceTime dad. You wanted to be present, and
Yeah.
I mean, so it's tough.
I mean, and to your point as well, I've talked to plenty of big leaguers, and the one that comes to mind is, you know, Eric Haas. He's in the big
We
leagues
know.
right now.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, you know Haas.
We know him.
Yeah,
So him and I had a conversation, and I was telling him about all this stuff, and he's like, man, a lot of people think that, yeah, the big leagues is great because you're making a ton of money. You're $800,000 minimum if you get to the big leagues, and then obviously you got guys that are making millions and hundreds of millions and whatever.
Mhm.
But what never changes is problems in life. Like, life happens. Life happens. It's just you have them with more money.
Yeah.
So it's like the same problems that the big leaguers are having mentally and with their families and with, you know, just lack of seeing their wife or their kids. The big leaguers are
baby
going through that
mamas.
too.
Yeah.
Their big leaguers are going through that too.
Hey,
So
more
it's like,
money, more problems.
yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. But a lot of people,
Are
I
you
think,
proud of me, Jacob? Are you proud of me?
I am.
Okay, all right.
I
A
lot
little
of
bit of
people-
flavor there. A little bit.
I love it. I love it. A lot of people though think that, you know, just because guys are in the big leagues, they're like this invincible person that
Yeah.
doesn't like have to deal with problems and
Right.
issues. And that's just not true.
Right.
Like, just because, you know, I obviously never played in the big leagues, but just because I'm a professional athlete and they're big leaguers, that doesn't mean that we don't deal with stuff.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
we're human too.
Yep.
So I think that's a huge disconnect. Is some people are like, man, you're living this life, you're in professional baseball, we never got to be to this position. And I'm like,
Yeah.
like, you play it 5-6 years like
Yeah.
I have, and it's like, man, it's great and it's a blessing to be there.
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity because a small percentage of people get to do
Right.
it. But dadgummit, it's not easy.
Right.
It's
And
not
your
easy.
401k
Yeah.
looks a lot better than mine. So yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, no, it's reality. Like the retirement of all this stuff. And if you're not pulling, you know, if you're not in the 2% of big leaguers that have great contracts, like all of this stuff cuts into life. And it's just a battle of, man, baby, how much longer are we going to try and hope that the phone rings and it's the
Hit the
call?
jackpot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's definitely what I to go back to that.
I asked you
feeling
got to
that-
the point of your decision.
Yeah, feeling that stuff outside the baseball field, and then the way things were shaping up on the baseball field. I obviously, you know, I know what it's like to be a prospect and a priority, and I also know what it's like when you're not.
Yeah.
And for me, with everything that's going on outside the field and this business opportunity that I had, playing 2 days a week and missing everything that's going on in my house. Like, I just watched my son roll over 6 times in a row for the first day the other day. And it's like, it's great. It's great. It's like, it's unbelievable. Thank God. But it's like, I wouldn't be able to experience that if I was gone.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I don't wish I was still had the opportunity to chase my big league dream. Absolutely. But life happens, and you know, I'm grateful for how far that I made it and for the people that I've been introduced to and that I've learned through on the coaching side of things. And I've really excited for this next chapter of being able to pass that stuff on to the next generation, just because giving that kind of information to kids like myself when I was growing up that never got a chance to be able to get that high quality level of information.
Yeah.
And then now obviously social media being the pathway to that, coming out and doing content and things of that nature, and doing, you know, podcasts and being able to tell people like, look, this is the reality of the game.
Yeah.
Chase it. Chase the game. Chase
Have
it
your
as far as
dreams.
you
It's
can.
okay to have your dreams.
dream. But there is also the business and the reality side of baseball. And that is what it is.
Yeah.
Eventually, one day, either they're going to tell you you can't put your uniform on, or you're going to realize that I'm not willing to keep going with the lifestyle to be able to sustain this. And, you know, it's time for me to just move on. And I'm okay with that in my mind now. And I'm super thankful and grateful for all the relationships that I've had, and, you know, obviously both organizations. But at the end of the day, like, the only thing that you take with you, and a lot of people do not realize this, and this resonated me with when I left. When you leave, like, all you take with you is the relationships and the memories that you built and the friendships
100%.
that you built with all your other teammates. Because guess what? When I walked in the locker room, there was another jersey in the locker with someone else's name on it before I could even step out of the building. So they're on to the
Holy
next.
shit.
So that's what I'm
You're
saying.
just a number.
You're just a pawn, and where you get drafted there's different levels of priority, and obviously the higher dollar value guys are going to get the most opportunity for failure and the most opportunity to advance and get to the big leagues. The other guys are going to have to either, one, go through a lot of crap to get to the big leagues, because it is possible, but it's just going to extend and obviously it depends on the organization you're in and things of that nature. But you're going to have to go through a lot of crap to get to your goal, or you're going to realize that, hey, some stuff's happened in my life. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be away from my family and miss out on all the things of life to chase my dream. So I'm okay with hanging it up. But I don't think a lot of people realize that it's very, very business oriented. Obviously it's college is starting to turn much more into that now. And then professional baseball is a whole new level of it, because you have nothing's in your control. Nothing is in your control.
So I talked to you a couple weeks ago. How many days were you removed from your official retirement paperwork? Weren't you like 48 hours or something like that?
When I talked to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, like it was. I mean, it was fresh. It was fresh off the press, and I was like, I told Jacob, I said, well, first of all, my conversation with you will stay private, but I told Jacob, I was like, we have to give him some time to process this, because you were coming down off of a high, and you. The reason why I'm asking you this was the decision to walk away easier because you knew that this new chapter of your life was about to take off, or did this come because of the opportunity was presented because you just made that decision to walk away? And we'll get into this opportunity is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I think
here.
Say again.
Did you know that this opportunity was here waiting for you?
So yes and no. There's a couple different avenues to this. So because I wasn't playing as much as I would have liked, I took that downtime and said, I always knew I wanted to get into coaching. I've heard that my entire life through the different coaches I've been around. I've been exposed to a lot of different hitting ideologies, different hitting coaches.
Clearly you suck at communicating.
Yeah, clearly, right? So it's like, I mean, we're just an hour and 57 minutes into this, like I told you we would be. So I knew I was going to be in the coaching realm. I just didn't know what facet. And I just told myself, like, look, I'm going to spend this downtime that I'm not on the field. When the days that I'm catching, I'm going to go do everything that I've always done, game plan, talk with the pitcher, and do my best to shut down the other team when we're out there on the field. But when I'm not, I'm going to start building this business. And I'm going to start, because I have a vision and I have an idea of what I want stuff to look like based upon facilities and instructors I've been to. And I've seen the positives and negatives that everyone has gone through. And I'm going to apply that to my business model.
The reason why I'm saying this, Josh, is because what you're saying is you had a plan and then you had a plan B. And Jacob, you know where I'm going with this.
And then you had a plan C and D.
So you could feel things coming to surface and developing in your professional career, and you could feel how things, I don't want to say you could manifest it, but you could feel things were moving, and so you got proactive so that you weren't caught with like a deer in the headlights without a plan, right?
100%. I mean, could I have kept playing? Absolutely. Like I could have continued to keep playing, and I would have just had to deal with, whatever came with that. I would just have to accept
he's a
that.
Professional, by the way. Why he's saying that he's also a professional. So go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
So I would have to deal with whatever I was thrown at me, and I just wasn't really going to accept that. So I was going to use that time to be productive. So I was going to reach out to people in the area that I met doing lessons last year, see like, hey, there's a real need for people in the Middle Tennessee area and just in the catching realm in general. There's not enough people that are coming out and talking about, hey, these are the demands of catching at a high level. So at 12U, we need to start emphasizing these things so that way there's not a humongous skill gap by the time we get to college and the upper levels.
To the big field.
Oh, exactly. So because we're so infatuated with the showcase circuit nowadays that everyone thinks that all they got to chase are numbers on an iPad and a scoreboard, that they're not realizing the whole other side of the game that takes the personal development is year over year over year of consistency. And I think that that's what my job is to be able to not only show people the things where I went wrong and the things that also made me successful, but also give them the reality of like, look, man, you guys, in order to get to the level that you guys want, I know every kid's parents think that they're going to be a big leaguer, but the reality of it is that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And there's a very small amount of kids that are going to do that. So
we know. We get reminded all the time, Josh.
So that's, if you want the highest chance of being able to go do that, then you need to go about things a certain way, the same way that other kids that are at a young age, high school guys that have also gotten to that level, like the Kevin McGonagalls, the Jackson Jobs, the Max Clarks, like people that got drafted really high out of high school, you know, they weren't focused on the showcase circuit and the travel circuit. They were focused on the personal development side of things. I'm going to get as fast, as big, as strong, as athletic, as smart as I can. And then knowing that when I work on myself and I develop myself, the opportunities to go to showcases are going to present themselves, because guess what, everyone? If your kid,
we talked about this,
if your kid doesn't have any tools, if you're going to a showcase thinking, hey, we're going to go out and showcase ourselves for all those college scouts that are watching me, but then you look up and he's throwing 75 miles an hour and he's running a 8-flat 60 and his exit velo's 87, you have no business being at any other showcases. I think it's great to get a baseline and say, here's where I'm at based upon my peers, and this is where I need to go. And then you find a personal trainer, you find a personal hitting coach, a throwing coach, whatever you got, chef, whether that's your mom, whatever. Like my mom played chef for many years. So, but you got to go all in on that, because you've never seen a high school kid get drafted in the early rounds that's undersized, scrawny, untalented, unintelligent. Like they check so many boxes for the teams to be willing to put that investment in them. So if they didn't chase the showcase circuit, why do you think that you should? Like
because I'm smarter than they are, Josh.
Yes, exactly. And again, people, I have this conversation with people all the time. Don't get me wrong. It's not, the travel showcase circuit is very beneficial. It is a tool, but you need to use the tool correctly. There is a time to test everything that you've worked on in an off season, and that's what the travel circuit can give you. But if you think that you're going to get better at baseball by just playing baseball games, you're sadly mistaken. Like, you got to put in the grunt work in the cage with the lights not on you, and you getting in there and you figuring out what you got to do to elevate your game. That's just the fact of the matter.
So, and let's just set the record straight right now, Jacob. Okay. That information is not coming from a Division I baseball player. It's not coming from a travel ball coach. That is coming from a Major League Baseball professional. Okay.
Minor league.
Hear me?
Minor league. Don't do me like that.
Okay.
Minor league baseball player. Minor league baseball player.
Don't do me like
You're
that.
a professional athlete. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
A professional athlete with a 90-10 nutrition regimen. Okay. Somewhere around there. But no, it's very important, Josh, because there's credibility to the information when we get it. There's a lot of parents that listen to this. There's a lot of coaches that listen to this. There's a lot of people that listen, a lot of players that listen to this, that there's a lot of contradicting information that we seem to be pumping out through the airwaves because we have different perspectives. Not that one's right and one's wrong, but I'm just going to be real honest with you. It's a lot different when it comes from you. It's a lot different when it comes from Eric Haas. It's a lot different when it comes from Harrison Wenson. It's just different. It's different. It holds a different amount of credentials in a parent's earlobes when they hear it at this level. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
100%. So, all right. So where are we at now? What are we doing? You're coaching now. You're training now. You're in Nashville area. What are we doing?
So there's several sides of things, but basically the goal here is
Cliff notes.
I've started you follow me. I've started a social media page in which I'm going to start posting content this week. So I'm giving in-person lessons
Okay.
Through my business right now, I am working with
You partnered with somebody, right?
partner with somebody. His name is Joey Lewis. He's part of the Hit Lab here, and he also has a good social media following on Instagram.
Okay.
Got great stuff. Joey played himself a little bit for the Kansas City Royals. He played baseball at the University of Georgia. Him and I really do speak the same language.
Okay.
And he has a really good client base here. So I'm partnering with him and working in his facility, and we're trying to build that up as far as on the catching side as well, because there's a lot of hitting coaches in the area, but there's not a lot of catching coaches. And that's also the same true to be said on the content side of things. Everyone thinks they're a hitting coach and thinks they can come out and post content. But catching's a little different, obviously. Not everyone's obviously caught at a high level, even at college. So I think it's, again, like I mentioned before, it's my job to provide that information. So I'm going to do that through in-person lessons here in the Murfreesboro, Nashville area. I'm also working in a little bit of coaching for a travel ball team in the area. And again, that's also showing me the need to say the things that I'm saying, because I'm hands in on it. And I see these things that you guys talk about in the podcast. And I see kids that show up to the field. They're 16 years old. They don't have a J-Band's band routine. They don't have a stretching routine. They don't have a hitting routine. And they're going into their sophomore, junior years of high school, and they've never been introduced to the things that are going to make them successful at a higher level.
Bro, I can tell you right now, and everybody can laugh and roll their eyes when I say this, but even at the 12U, so our boys play on a national team. So we play a national schedule. We play against top teams in this country. And I can tell you what separates them from us is their routines in pregame. Am I wrong, Jacob?
No, you're 100% right, man.
It doesn't matter if they have an alley like between two fields that they have to do this in, or if they've got a building. They're going to go through their routine. You're going to see it all the time. And that's what's the ones that get chewed up and spit out when it comes to the elite, the top 8 of the bracket, or the final 4 of a bracket, are the teams that have a meticulous routine, that stick to the routine. And then the teams that are going out there and dicking around between games. Like, okay, we just won to make it to a semifinal, but now we're gonna dry hump the fence, or we're gonna dick around and play hacky sack or whatever, instead of going right back into the routine to get right back ready to win the championship.
100%. And guess what? I'm not I don't think it's bad to play hacky sack and have some downtime and disconnect.
I'm using it as an example.
No, but I'm saying there's credibility to that, because there's also those coaches out there that are so dead set. This is the way we're going to do it. We're going to run this like a military. And that's also not good.
Okay.
So it can't be a free for all, and it can't be a military. It needs to be, hey, we're coming to the baseball field. We've practiced together. We have a plan. We are a team. These are the routines that we've established, and this is what we're going to go execute on the baseball field. It's not, there's room for fun and there's room for seriousness. You got to find the happy medium, and it takes special coaches to be able to continue to come alongside the players and encourage them, because I know I've been coaching some 11-year-olds. It's like herding cats. So it's like, you got to find a way to be able to get those guys to focus.
And I say that as a compliment, actually, Jacob, because where I was going with that is we have beaten a lot of teams in our warm-ups. Have we not, Jacob?
Oh, yeah.
We have beaten a lot of teams before a first pitch has ever been played. There are people that specifically have asked me, would you please turn Game Changer on so that we can watch the stream while you guys warm up? Am I wrong, Jacob?
No,
and
you're right.
The teams that don't, and those are the teams that we're out of the game. We're done with the game in 40 minutes, 3 innings, and we're done. It's just there's definitely something to having a routine, sticking to it, and perfecting that routine is what you're saying.
100%. And it's no coincidence that a lot of the teams, again, I grew up playing baseball in Central Florida, and a lot of those teams exist there, the routines, and there's no coincidence that most of those teams go on to play college baseball. Why is that? Because college teams and college recruiters want those kids, because they already know about the routine. They already know about the mentality on the day-to-day basis. So it's much easier at 12 to teach them how to get there by the time they're 17, And then if
100%.
they've had 5 years of doing that, and then now they are really ingrained and really dedicated, and now that's attractive to a college coach. So he's
And
like,
now when those
I want to
college
make him.
coaches come to watch, it's perfected by that time. They're not just now figuring it out.
Yep. And it's like, I can plug that into my program.
Yep.
I can plug that into my program right now, because if I have to teach them how to do a routine, if there's a difference, if there's 2 kids of the same talent level and one of them comes to the field and he has a routine and he does the same thing every single game, and the other one is just doing whatever and he's just throwing spaghetti at the wall, like, who do you think they're taking? They're taking the one with the
100%.
plan. They're taking the one with the plan.
Okay.
So I think
you're doing lessons. Okay. You're doing lessons. And this is being held at the HIT Lab.
It's the HIT Lab in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and the goal here is that not only am I going to be giving in-person lessons, there's going to be an expansion, and then also on top of that, I am doing I'm building out currently an online curriculum. So there's going to be
we need to get him connected with Skylar.
Yep. Put him and Skylar together. Yep.
Connected with Skylar, hit ball coach on Instagram. He's incredibly
Play ball coach.
Play ball coach. What did I say?
I've seen him.
Okay, he's one of our best friends. He's one of our he has got that same thing where he does an online curriculum for rec, like for rec teams and for rec coaches, and he just started implementing using Meta glasses to go through and build this out. But he's got this website. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't have your shit together, Josh. That's not what I meant. But he's somebody great to collaborate with and bounce ideas off of.
100%, because I'm doing that. I'm going to be doing the in-person stuff. I'm going to be getting into the online space, and then I'm also going to be doing a bunch of content as well. And then throughout seasonally, I'm going to be doing camps in this location, just in different places of availability.
Are you doing a podcast yet?
Well, the podcast also will be getting started as well. That's kind of like,
listen, I am for hire. I can easily move to Nashville. We can easily just partner together and make this happen. It's super easy. I love Nashville.
I will tell you right now, there is an unbelievable need for not only coaching, but
Can't help you there.
No, there's as far as high level coaching, there's a bunch of retired former athletes that live in the Franklin area.
Yeah.
But it's like, I was shocked at the amount of baseball that's played here and the lack of coaching that
100%.
resides here as well.
Yeah.
So there's a humongous need, because all the really good coaches, what you'll see is that they're booked out with a waiting list.
Sure.
And then everyone else just has to go to, whatever the other, run of the mill guys that they have.
Yeah.
So a huge opportunity. Which is obviously a blessing to be here, because it's different than Florida. You go open up a baseball facility on Florida,
they're on every corner.
Every corner.
Yeah.
So
there's a 7-Eleven and a Latino waiting to show you how to work your footwork.
Yeah.
I can only get away with this shit, Josh, because I have a Latino on my show.
But hey, there's a ton of Latino infield coaches in Florida. You're not wrong about that.
Yeah. So, all right. So how can people get a hold of you? How do people find you?
Again, you can.
I will put all your links in our description, but if they're listening.
Yep. We will be collaborating with each other. I have obviously a personal Instagram account, a personal or a business account. It's called The Catching Collective. That's my business name. And then I'm on all 4 forms of social media.
Are you on LinkedIn?
5. Not on LinkedIn.
See, Jacob, we're not that far off. I'm not on LinkedIn, but a professional NIL guy told me that I was missing the boat because I'm not on LinkedIn. And I said, dude, I'm just trying to keep my head above water right now. Like, can we?
That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
So, but I'll be doing YouTube. I'll be doing obviously TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And then there will be not only an online curriculum that will be available to buy out. There's going to basically be 4 age groups. There will be the youth age, the high school age, the college age, and then a pro age. And you can buy the different curriculums outright for yearly access. And then on top of that, I'll also be in the online coaching one-on-one realm as well.
Are you targeting coaches, or are you targeting athletes with these curriculums?
It could be both, because they're going to be very in depth. It's going to be at the youth level. It's going to be broken down.
You're welcome for that.
Thank you so much. Yes. At the youth level, it's going to be very, very broken down so that way they can explain it to an 8-year-old. And every level bracket above that is going to be increasingly more. That's where there will be more of an emphasis in recruiting and nutrition and athletic stuff. Just so.
Okay.
Yes,
Sweet.
sir.
Well, dude, listen, I know that we had to like sit on our hands for 2 weeks waiting for this day to come, because we both knew the energy. We knew what was going to happen. But I think it worked out perfectly because it was the right place at the right time. You and I met, we had a conversation, and I literally told you at one point, I said, stop talking. We have to say this. Stop. Stop.
Like, you have to stop me, man.
For the pod, because it was just, and I think that everything worked out to give us time for you to get your things together on your side. And it worked out for us that you happen to be at this week where the amount of eyeballs that are watching right now are probably at an all-time high. So I cannot thank you enough for giving you my opportunity to tell your story and to tell everybody what you're up to and what you're doing now. So please believe me when I tell you, I'm very, very grateful for your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, also for the platform, and also looking forward to collaborate on something in the future again as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, this won't be the last time we talk, and we actually text quite a bit. So we will stay in touch. I will let you know later. Probably before midnight, it should go up. This one's pretty clean, Jacob. Like there's not a whole lot to do to it. Just fix the audio, fix your grainy ass, and then get it up. So this one should be up before midnight for the West Coast people. And then for sure, it'll be up for everybody's commute in the morning. So I will let you know when it's live. And then as we start pumping this stuff out through social media, I'll collab with you. And then I will put your links in the description of this so that YouTube knows that you're there. And I'll let you know when it's done. Cool.
And we'll be looking for
that.
catching clinics.
Yeah.
We'll be looking out for your catching clinics.
We'll be looking for
Listen, right now, I'm not saying I won't travel, so you just keep me updated.
Okay.
Oh,
have a great night.
All right.
Enjoy your family. And we'll talk later.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
See you guys.
See ya.
Yes, sir.
I just want to let you know.
Yeah.
I had a migraine come in the middle of this episode.
Something was wrong. Something was wrong.
When I would put my head down.
I thought you fell asleep.
No. When I put my head down.
Yeah.
My dinner started coming up.
Okay. Why didn't you just walk away? Why didn't you just say, guys, I was
good. No, I was good. I knew I just had to breathe.
I was literally going to stop and be like, dude, are you good? Like, did you fall asleep? Because I saw you.
When I went like this.
And it was a really long pause. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No, I didn't fall asleep. I just felt it. Like my mouth got real watery. Then so I went to my water. I was like, come on. And then I was like, oh, it's right. Like, let me take a moment, guys.
Another good one, homie.
Yeah, it was. Good dude, man.
Yeah, good dude. Yeah, he has professional. That's a pro right there. That is what you call a pro. I really enjoyed some of the information, and the he confirmed a lot of things that I'm currently going through, literally going through a bunch of this stuff right now. And he I don't remember what he started to mention towards the tail end of that conversation, but it was pretty insightful. And I was going to revisit it with what we're going through, currently with our team, but I can't remember. So, I don't know, but, thank you to Josh Crouch and,
thank you, Josh.
Pictures Collective. Check them out on Instagram, and if you guys are interested, hit him up on a DM. We will connect him with Skylar. I think that him and Skylar might have some insight as to what has worked and what hasn't worked, or maybe Skylar can learn something from him as far as he might have newer technology than what Skylar in Texas has. So we'll get them connected, and
put us in a thread too.
No, bro, could you imagine those two talking together?
Oh my, who's going to be the leader?
Like, who would win that battle? Who would win that battle?
That's going to go on for days. Get your popcorn, ladies and gentlemen.
Could you imagine those two with a cooler full of beer sitting? I'm not saying that either one of them drink. Yeah, well, I know that Skylar drinks Bardstown bourbon and Green River whiskey. Did you like how I just did that?
Yes, you did.
But I could just imagine those two with a cooler full of beer in a lawn chair on a hot summer day, just left alone. Just those two left alone with no other humans around. Could you imagine?
They're gonna fix the world. They're gonna fix the world.
Oh my God!
So, put us in a group thread too. Text
right.
So I have his number.
For sure. I will right now. So, all right, man, let's get out of here. It's been over 2 hours. Let's get out of here. This one's clean, so I don't want to fuck it up. So love you.
Okay.
See ya.
Love you.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.